now.
I am disappointed in you, John.
Absolutely not.
That you won't even give me the word could become a dynasty. I'm not going hot take. They're going to be a dynasty. They're the next dynasty of the NFL. I'm saying could because this team is built to do it.
Oh, my gosh. When it happens, I'll gladly talk about anything.
Wow.
When they start playing well, I'll talk about anything. I think it is going to be a monumental mountain to climb. And I'm going to explain to you why during the show today.
I know you will.
It's going to be
which is why it's all part of the show today.
I think it's going to be a monumental mountain to climb.
I believe they're the team that could do it.
I hope they can. I absolutely hope they can. Can they? Sure.
I'm disappointed in you, too. Now, you are on my side
What
about
did
the
I do?
Well, you were also kind of like wishy-washy when we said the word could last week. All I did was say the word
because
could.
they won the Super Bowl a week and a day ago, so I wasn't ready to turn my attention to what's next yet.
Correct.
Dude, you should be even more chesty because they won the Super Bowl a week and a day ago.
I was chesty about this team, Andrew. Can we not take a moment to celebrate what has just happened?
We're going to celebrate.
Okay, well, the whole forcing us to look forward. Now, if we're having the conversation, I am on your side. The Eagles absolutely could be a dynasty. They're set up for years to come. I firmly believe that they are going to be a contender for a Super Bowl for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Like, I think they're going to be in that conversation constantly. But last week was too early. Now that the parade's over, this is the week where we start to turn our attention to other things.
I have so many things I can turn my attention to that determine the 2025 season. Not to me discussing what might happen at the end of the 2025 season.
I think we got 7
There's
months
so many things,
until the next season starts,
There's
Johnny.
so many things to talk about with this team, about how they stay together, the coaching decisions, which are going to be huge, as we saw the last time when they went to a Super Bowl, that somehow you guys are counting towards dynasty talk. That
if they win.
No, you talk about the 2022 when it's counting towards something.
Absolutely.
As it doesn't. The top.
They won their conference.
You're talking about a team that fell apart, and the main reason it fell apart, bad coordinator hires. And right now, you're in the same situation. You're going to try to hire coordinators after.
You're halfway there at least.
After, yeah, but you may need a new defensive backs coach, who was who our man Andrew DeCecco will tell you was maybe the MVP of the coaching staff. He's been pumping them up all year. You could lose your secondary coach. That could be something that, you lose out to New Orleans, and you're going to lose other offensive staffers on to New Orleans, too. I don't want Kevin Patullo with a bunch of new hires, too. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things there's so many things I'm more concerned about than what might happen if they win next year.
We got 7 months to discuss it.
We do.
I'm just telling you.
I want to go in, how about this? I want to go in order. I want to talk about the things that are urgent. I want to do today's talk show.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? The stuff that matters today.
Which is why I say could, and you guys both shot me down
because there's too
week.
much going on right now that matters.
Just me saying the word could.
Oh, my gosh.
Made you feel a certain type of way.
It does.
And that's disappointing to me when this show was all about chest day for months.
It
John.
was.
And now all of a sudden you're putting the dumbbells down.
Oh, my gosh.
What? Do you want me to give you the bands instead? God, I'm disappointed in both of you.
The resistance band.
Yeah, it's all. You know what?
The shake weight.
Because you know what? You are resisting the show.
The shake weight.
That's why you deserve resistance bands.
The shake weight. We could get one of those. There we go.
Got my own shake weight. All right, coming up next. John Kincade sent me a text yesterday. That should add to my point. You fell into my trap, John.
We'll see.
Mr. I'm not having a conversation that isn't logical yet. However, you sent me a text yesterday that adds to it, Johnny. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli.
The best Philly sports victory of all time.
Talking about the Super Bowl 59 champion Eagles.
Here we go. Coach and a quarterback who were down it all season long, wound up sticking it up everybody's nose, including mine, and walked out into the New Orleans night last night, maybe with the status of being the best coach and the best quarterback in Eagles history. What the hell is happening in this town?
Listen weekdays 10 a.m. to 2. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optimus resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
If you thought having a 3-day weekend couldn't get any better, then you haven't heard about the President's Day deals at Kohl's. I just went and saved a ton on great new styles and much needed home finds, like cute jeans for $24.99, cozy bedding for 30% off, a 15-piece cookware set for $59.99, and so much more. Plus, I got an extra 15% off with a coupon. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, get to Kohl's and thank me later. Select styles, 15% offers end February 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey, this is Andrew Salciunas.
I'm John Kincade.
This is Tyrone Johnson.
Ricky Metallico here.
We've done some great work with businesses across the Delaware Valley.
Companies like Landis Block, Waste Management's Bagster, and Comcast Business.
We only endorse businesses and products we truly use and value.
Think about the impact of hearing Fanatic personalities talking about your organization and driving customers to your company.
Go to 975thefanatic.com/advertise to learn more about how The Fanatic can help you market your products and services.
This is Philadelphia's station for breaking sports news. Powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Kincade Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
Yeah. Even though I got splashed cold water by John Kincade. Thank you, Bradford White, for trying to heat me up.
Did it wake you up? Did it wake?
I still don't know if I'm dreaming, honestly.
Did it
I really
wake
don't.
It is a wonderful
the
feeling.
Phillies again crossing the bridge this morning had the big screen. Still, a week
nice.
and a day after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they still have the congratulations Philadelphia Eagles on the big screen, which that screen is gigantic and blinding.
And you can
at
see
4
it.
o'clock in the morning, driving over the Waltman Bridge. So, all I'm asking is, could they become a dynasty? Or not even asking, I'm saying that they could. And I got shot down. Very disappointing. However, you sent me a text yesterday with a list of topics, and I appreciate said list of
Right,
topics.
exactly.
I always appreciate the topics, John.
Yes, the topics.
But you sent me one that adds to my point.
What's that?
Now you're gonna weasel your way out of this, and I know you will, because you're smart. And that's the only.
I am
That's
evil.
the only compliment you're gonna get. Today.
Slightly evil.
So he tries to take a shot at Bill Colarulo in the text message.
That's because he's on the fence. No, I didn't. I didn't take it. Try to.
You said if I
No,
hear.
I didn't try to. I
you
let you
did.
read that. Read it exactly.
If I hear anyone, especially Bill Colarulo, trot out the Super Bowl hangover line this offseason, I'm going to lose my mind. So I'm here to show that it is most certain that it most certainly doesn't exist. We should expect the Eagles to have a great season again next year.
Correct, because Bill Colarulo was trotting out when he was just joining us here at the station. Was trotting out last year about the Super Bowl hangover
After
when he was
they were 10
when he
and
was
1.
just doing weekends. They were 10-1.
Yeah,
The Eagles were not having a Super Bowl hangover.
I agree.
They were 10-1. And the Super Bowl hangover, I had already pointed out, was not a factual thing. Many teams find a way to lose the Super Bowl and go back and have a really good year the next year. But when you win the Super Bowl, don't trot out Super Bowl hangover because, again, it's not factual. Simple numbers for you here. I want to ask you and Connor, because I know neither one of you have researched this. There have been 23 now Super Bowl champions this century. Okay? So we're dealing with 23. What percentage of those teams miss the playoffs? Super Bowl champions miss the playoffs.
The next year?
Yep.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah, that's about right. I'd say like 15.
This number's going to blow you away. 35%.
Oh, even more.
8 missed the playoffs. Now, there are reasons with some of them. The retirement of John Elway.
That'll do it.
The retirement. No, John Elway was last century. Excuse me. The retirement of Peyton Manning.
That'll do it.
To do you.
Brock Osweiler did not carry them back.
That it didn't work out. There was an injury to Tom Brady on the first play of things like that. There are things that contributed, but still, 15 made the playoffs, 8 missed the playoffs. Now, if I ask you, what percentage of the teams that won the Super Bowl made it back to the conference championship game the next year?
10%. Stick with that number.
15. I'll stick with that.
30.
Oh, wow, okay.
So 30% of the Super Bowl champions this century make it back to the Final Four the next season. So when you're talking 3 out of 10, that's a really good number.
Yeah.
6 made the Super Bowl. So that's 26% make it back to the Super Bowl. So 1 out of 4 makes it back to the Super Bowl.
So I have a 26% chance that the Eagles could be a dynasty.
No. Because you got to win.
Oh, okay.
Only 2 have won the Super Bowl.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So this century, of the 23 Super Bowl champs, 2 of them have won the Super Bowl the next year. We got Patriots, we got Chiefs. So that's only 9%. But 1 out of 4 makes it back to the Super Bowl. 3 out of 10 make it back to the conference championship game. The worst record of a Super Bowl champion the next year is the Los Angeles Rams at 5-12. And if you remember those picks, that was a team that was built in 2021, to just go all in with the 1-year contracts and do all that.
And Stafford got hurt that year too, right?
And they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they got hurt. And then Stafford gets hurt. They went 5-12.
Wasn't that when didn't Baker play a game for the Rams? I think Baker played a game for him.
They were not. Here are other champions that missed the playoffs. 5-12, 9-7, 8-8, 9-7, 9-7, 8-8, 7-9, 9-7. So they're usually the ones who miss the playoffs just miss it.
So you're demanding no Super Bowl hangover.
No.
You're telling me there's a 25% chance the Eagles can get back to the Super Bowl.
That is correct.
And you're telling me there's a 10% chance that they could win the Super Bowl, which means
9, but it's okay.
Be a dynasty.
It's amazing.
See how I made that work?
No.
All right, coming up next, Jalen Hurts spoke at the museum. Right, the steps. He refused to go to the steps until he won, Johnny. Great clip that shows the growth of his relationship with Nick Serianni, how amazing Howie is, and how lucky we are to have Jeffrey Lurie as the owner of the Eagles. You'll hear that coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A great weekend of celebration. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a wild weekend here at Philly celebrating the Super Bowl champion Eagles. The parade Friday gave us a number of memorable moments. Jalen Hurts took time to thank the fans during his speech at the Art Museum steps.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year, all the passion, every ounce of it.
Yes, it was a great day to thank the fan base, thank the players, thank everybody. Turn to the person left to you. Tell them thank you for the Eagles Super Bowl. With the parade's conclusion, though, comes the change of focus to what's next. Eagles quarterbacks coach Doug Nussmeier has interviewed for the Saints offensive coordinator job. Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker has interviewed for the Saints DC job. Both of those guys would be working under Kellen Moore if they were to be hired, and both of those guys would be big losses for the Philadelphia Eagles. So the attrition of the coaching staff continues as the Birds look towards what's next. next. Sixers are off till Thursday. Flyers are off till Saturday. The Phillies fully report to spring training today. Their first spring training game is coming up this Saturday. So we're coming around on baseball season. This update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your businesses. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Bill Colarulo.
Once again, Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes on the biggest stage there is.
Talking about the Super Bowl champs.
There are only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history that have completed over 70% of their passes in multiple Super Bowls and scored 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady.
Listen to Bill weekdays on the Mike Missanelli Show, 10 a.m. to 2. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, my friends at the Consultants in Medical Oncology and Hematology, I saw them last week. Went in to get my Natera testing. So like every quarter, they test me for 5 years. So it's like a step back into the practice that helped give me my life back. The doctors and nurses and entire staff at CMOH, the Consultants in Medical Oncology and Hematology, have 3 great offices in Delaware County. I'm about to switch to the Newtown Square office. I've been going to the Broomall office, but they make it really convenient for you if you're in Montgomery County, Chester County, right off the Blue Route. Simple locations that allow you to get personalized care with high levels of service. Because they're independent, they allow you to collaborate with many of the local healthcare systems across the region. And when I tell you, they make doctor's appointments for me, they quarterback my care, they give you great access to high quality care right near your home. I can tell you this, I would not be here without them. They were my first choice, and yes, I did shop around too. But I would tell you, if they're not your first opinion, please make them your second. And I promise you, they can lead you through this journey. It's the Consultants in Medical Oncology and Hematology. Whether it's your cancer diagnosis or a friend's or a family member's, get in touch with them at cmoh.org.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile brand. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
At the UPS store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS store. Be unstoppable.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Philadelphia, Radnor, and Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Michelle Ferrari, licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Businesses of all types and sizes have been saving money with Pico, because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and save cash. So see how Pico's helping businesses like yours take control of their energy costs and improving their bottom line. Visit pico.com/business and request an energy assessment for money-saving recommendations based on your facility, equipment, and energy use, and discover financial incentives on equipment and upgrades that will save you cash. Tackle the biggest energy users at your business and start saving money today at pico.com/business.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. It's 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security at a great rate that won't change. It's back for a limited time. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies a monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Now's the perfect time to sign up for the MVP newsletter. Receive content specifically tailored to you. Get chances to win exclusive contests. Catch up with on-demand segments from Kincade Salciunas, Mike Missanelli, and the best show ever.
What are you waiting for? Head to 975thefanatic.com/newsletter to subscribe now.
Coming up at 10, Mike Missanelli. This is Philadelphia Sports Talk with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Well, chest day for me on Kincade and Salciunas. John's doing resistance bands.
You're dedicated.
Connor,
the shake weight.
Are you doing what are you doing? Leg day?
Yeah, sure. I mean Monday's normally chest day.
Leg day's important. Well, not anymore. Not for you. Not for John. I'm the only one that's being chesty.
Just because you're benching 400 and letting it fall on your chest doesn't mean me benching 180 over here is not like a thing.
I'm just disappointed in you guys. You know? I want more.
Okay, you're a little too far. John is not far enough.
All I said was
There is
could.
a middle ground.
All I said was could.
What do I say about Connor all the time? He finds that
middle ground.
He finds that gray area really well.
It's easy with you two on the polar opposite sides today.
And we are.
Yeah, well, you know what?
absolutely
You're
on
on
the
a
polar
fence, so pick a side, damn it.
The fence cannot be 4 billion miles wide because he's at the North Pole and you're at the South Pole. It must be a South Pole elf.
Depends where you're at. All right, so
we could use one.
Parade day was a lot of fun. So we're going to play a clip from Jalen Hurts come up in a little bit. But let's talk about our own experiences. That show was amazing. This weekend I had kind of that sat down with my wife, Christy, and I was just like, sometimes I have to remind myself how truly blessed we are doing what we do, right? And
correct.
It's also really cool that we are Philadelphia sports fans. Like, I know people hear us talk about Philadelphia sports, and you know, obviously we have to be opinionated doing this job, so people sometimes forget that we are fans. And so us being able to host a show on the parade route about our favorite football team is truly like one of those pinch me in my dreaming moments for our careers. And then we had the opportunity to watch the parade go by, which was really cool. And I love how everybody was having a great time. Obviously, there's a couple of nitwits here and there that try to ruin the event, but our area of Broad and Locust, I didn't see any debacles going down. The section of people that we were around, everyone was good. Everyone was happy. Everyone was having a good time, as it should have been on parade day. But I had a blast with you guys hanging out, watching the floats go by, or the buses. Sorry, I keep on saying the floats. The buses go by.
I didn't see Snoopy.
Friday was an amazing day.
It was everything. So many times when you look forward to something for your entire life, and doing this as long as I have, and I've had so many teams knocking on the door to be able to cover something like that, they don't live up to the hype. Friday lived up to the hype. Every last ounce of it.
Well, it helps when you're around a group of people. I mean, how many people do you think was at our corner?
Oh, probably
500 to 1,000 people. Just our corner. Just
more than that. Oh no, there were a couple thousand.
So
like the block right in front of our hotel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
At least a couple thousand people there.
And when everybody's feeling the same vibe you're feeling, that makes the day even more special.
The energy was great. The smiles were great. The players' smiles were amazing. The whole energy of the day was just beautiful.
And it started when we were driving up to the hotel. Like I saw people walking around. It was 5 o'clock in the morning.
The happiness of that day will live with me for quite a while.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was absolutely incredible. And by the way, except for your speech, Madam Mayor, the job this city did on that day.
Oh, amazing.
Tremendous. To move that many people in and out, to have just some jabronis get into a fight over the porta potty.
Yeah, idiots.
You know, and have to bring a gun out for it. You're a bunch of idiots.
Idiots.
That other than that, it was a flawless day. and you're bringing together million and a half people. It was unbelievable, and it was
I think
a great,
the experience from the last one helps out a lot, even though Mayor Parker wasn't the mayor at
You
the
think
time.
learning experience? Okay, good.
I think there's enough information about how can we make this better. But
it was awesome.
It was amazing. Now, I do got to ask this question.
Okay.
Idiots with the gun aside. Who's the idiot chucking a beer can when somebody's not calling for the beer?
No.
What? You're going to defend
What?
this?
You're going to defend this?
I am going to defend
Not
this.
one person on that bus
Nobody
in
was
that
calling
video
for
was
a
going,
beer.
hey, throw me a beer.
Nobody was.
Listen, you got to know, this is Howie's second. You got to have that
No,
head
that's
on a
ridiculous.
No,
swivel.
dude,
He had his head turned.
you can't blame
Head
Howie
on a swivel,
for,
Howie.
No, that's
dude,
ridiculous.
You can't blame Howie. Some
Stupid.
moron,
What a moron.
some idiot is throwing a full beer can when somebody doesn't have their hands up. When the guys are doing this, you
That's
go for
different.
It. When Doug, Super Bowl 52 parade, that was one of the best moments of that parade.
You know what? I had to look at it again because I forgot actually what went on
It
with
was
that.
smooth, man.
And Doug was literally looking right at him.
Hand up,
asking for it. Boom.
Yeah, Howie.
You don't chuck a full beer up into a thing where. And by the way,
there was a little kid on that bus.
It was right next to a little kid and right next to a woman.
Hey, you idiot.
Who's not looking. You're an absolute idiot.
Yes.
Doing something
obviously
like that.
they weren't looking for the beer. Obviously, you should make eye contact with the guy
Don't
before
even make
you
the,
throw
don't
it.
even make the joke about how he's got a head on his swivel.
I mean,
now,
people are throwing stuff all over the place.
I will say, Howie handled it like a damn legend with the I bleed for this city.
I loved it. He was well lubed.
Yeah,
he absolutely
yeah.
was. He was definitely tuned up
Big
a bit.
thick cigar.
And
He was smoking.
And Howie Roseman, you know what's funny is I think I felt as happy for him as anybody because over the years, even going into last year, we had people that wanted him fired.
I told the story. I was at the Reese Hoskins bat spike day. You were there, right?
Yes, I was. Right along the first base line.
The Eagles were 8-0 at that point of the season. This is at 8-0. They showed Serianni on the big screen. There was this big, loud round of applause for Serianni. And then they showed Howie, and there was a smattering of boos at Citizens Bank Park. Everyone, it was one of the best games of our lives, Reese Hoskins' bat spike, and a smattering of boos for Howie Roseman when the team was 8-0. Like it's not like they were 3-5 at that point.
I felt so good for him getting that moment.
Yeah, me too.
Because, boy, has he done, again, to think that he has found 12 impact players, 12 for 12, in the first 3 picks of the last 4 drafts is truly incredible. And on the NFL Network this weekend, they were putting up other teams' first 3 picks, and they were trying to find franchises that were close.
Yeah.
There was one that had 10. There was one that had 9. Howie's 12 for 12. That's incredible. Now, by the way, that's Howie and his staff.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Howie takes the time to deflect the praise.
I
constantly.
saw. I'll give you this tweet coming up next from your boy Dove Kleiman.
Who isn't real?
The percentage of first and second round picks that are starters for their team.
Okay.
I'll tell you about that coming up next.
Good
But
number.
Here's Jalen Hurts from Parade Day Friday. Listen to how he thanks Serianni, which shows the growth of their relationship.
Loved it.
Obviously, he was probably a little bit lubed up. Not as much as Nolan Smith, but he was probably feeling pretty good as well. He talks about Howie. He talks about Jeffrey Lurie. Take a listen to the franchise quarterback, the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts.
Very thankful for my team, and we couldn't do it without leadership. We couldn't do none of this without leadership, and that starts with Coach Nick Serianni. I want to thank Coach for his intentionality, his fight, his passion, and seeing this through. Then we go to Howie. Howie, for always doing what he does best, going out here and getting this great talent and being able to build this team. It all starts with him. And last but not least, Mr. Lurie. Mr. Lurie for having the faith in me, drafting me, and bringing me to this city. I got a lot of appreciation for him. And we can't do it without the fans. We can't do it without the fans. We all appreciate you. We love you. And
all right, there you go, Jalen.
By the way, Jalen's speech went 3 times as long as I thought it would.
Yeah.
Not as long as the mayor's. But and I appreciated the fact that Jalen was thanking people.
Yeah.
And appreciative of other coaches and other people who made it happen. That was excellent. Great job.
The intentionality. I love that line.
Yeah, making up words.
No, it's a word.
That's absolutely a word.
Yeah.
Attentionality?
Intentionality.
I thought it was attentionality.
No, he does things.
No, I got that. I
yeah.
thought he said attentionality.
No, I heard intentionality.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I like the fact that I love the fact that their relationship has at least gotten to a point.
Right.
But we see that Jalen is letting it swing a little bit.
He did.
We'll get into.
And I don't blame him at all for it.
And he will.
Coming up next, I told you there was a great stat about first and second round starters that you're going to love to hear. We'll give that to you coming up next. And let's hear from the people. The dynasty conversation. Could. And there are some people around here that don't even want to hear it yet. Come on, dream a little bit. My God.
No.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli, Bill Colarulo, and Ray Dunn. They have a lot to say about Philadelphia sports. The big stories you want to hear about. The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. The Fanatic's Business of Sports is powered by Pico for Business.
The Phillies have full squad workouts going on in Clearwater. The 2025 season's just around the corner. The fans here in Philly have a chance to make a bigger impact than ever before. The Clearwater area was devastated by 2 hurricanes, and the rebuilding and ramping up process has been slow in some areas. Most local businesses lost months of revenue, so when you're dining out or enjoying a cold beverage, be sure to be generous. Our Florida Philly home away from home could really use our help. Businesses of all types and sizes have been saving money with Pico, because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and save cash. So see how Pico's helping businesses like yours take control of their energy costs and improving their bottom line. Visit pico.com/business and request an energy assessment for money-saving recommendations based on your facility, equipment, and energy use, and discover financial incentives on equipment and upgrades that will save you cash. Tackle the biggest energy users at your business and start saving money today at pico.com/business.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at rentofy.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renify, we can.
What's Renify?
Renify loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renify, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renify loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renify?
Just send them a text.
Text TREND to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renify. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word TREND to 323232 to get started today. Text TREND to 323232. NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania.
Visit Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury for your next vehicle. Take advantage of huge savings and great financing options on most vehicles in stock, which includes the all-new and refined Buick Envista, the ever-popular GMC Sierra, or the powerful all-electric Hummer EV. At Barlow Buick GMC, their customers are like family, and you can always count on them for a friendly buying experience. Visit Barlow Buick GMC on Mantua Pike in Woodbury or at barlowautogroup.com. GMC, like a pro. Buick, exceptional by design.
Wherever you are, we are. Online at 975thefanatic.com, on the Fanatic app, and on air. Keeping you informed on your favorite sports teams with insight and perspective you need to hear. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 6:40 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Going to check our text messages and hit the phone lines in a second. But the stat that I saw Dove Kleiman, your man,
You mean Tom Brady's company? Tom Brady's secret company, because nobody has ever seen Dove Kleiman. Dove Kleiman's never had an NFL. Has never had an NFL, press credential or affiliation.
Not a real person.
It's not real.
So he obviously pilfers everybody's work. This was from Pickenham.
From what?
Pickenham.
Okay.
Pickenham was the source here. Each NFL team's percentage of first and second round picks that are starters on the team that drafted. The Philadelphia Eagles, 90% of them are starters. Second, just behind the Chicago Bears. Now, if you think about it, the Chicago Bears are a young team. They're rebuilding. So a lot of their first and second round picks are starting right away. So the Bears are at 91%. The Eagles are at 90%. It then drops to 80% for the Saints, Steelers, and Buccaneers. And if you look at a lot of these teams, they're not in a good place. Like the Saints are not in a good place.
No, they're in a bad place.
The Steelers are always winning, but they don't have a real quarterback. The Buccaneers are still a dangerous team. They're at 80%. Then it's Colts. Anybody really worried about the Colts?
Nah.
The Chargers. Anybody really worried about the Chargers?
They're turning. I'm not worried about them on the NFC side.
Right.
But if you're an AFC team, keep an eye on them.
I would worry about them down the line, but as long as that quarterback continues to come up really tiny.
Right.
In big spots.
Falcons, they're at 73%.
See, Falcons are one. Yeah. That's a team you keep your eye on because they have an easy path to a division win and everything like that.
But it just shows how great the Eagles have been at drafting, retaining, and these guys playing as well as they are. Like the Bears are number one because they just started rebuilding. So, of course, their first and second round picks are all on the field.
Sure.
The Eagles just won the freaking Super Bowl, and their first and second round picks are all on the field. Your starting quarterback is a second round pick. Your starting left guard is a second round pick. Your starting right tackle is still a former first round pick.
Only team ever in the history of the NFL to have two second round drafted quarterbacks start a Super Bowl for
That's
them.
amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
That's actually amazing.
That's a great stat.
But, I mean, look, it just shows across the board, both sides of the field, right? We all know about the defense. Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter are all first-round picks. Cooper DeJean's a second-round pick. Quinyon Mitchell's a first-round pick.
You just see now that stuff puts a smile.
Remember the how we can't draft conversations?
Well,
and they were real.
Well, the thing is,
5, 6, 7 years ago,
they were legit.
Yeah,
they were legit conversations. But what he did well, again, all the things he did well, sort of said to me, gave him the grace. I'm glad that I never ever. That's one thing I can at least put in my win column. I never called for him to be fired, but I can understand why people did.
Yeah.
Understand why people did.
Smartest man in the room syndrome. But he stopped doing that.
He learned from it. No, he learned
stopped
from
doing
it.
that. And I give credit to people when they learn.
Right, he's a gangster.
And which is why he's building a team that could be a dynasty. What do we have on the text line there, Connor? 610-632-0975.
Dan from Warminster wants to change the question a little bit.
You just wait till you're gone in Jamaica.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to start saying they are a dynasty while you're gone.
Dan from Warminster checks in and says, could the Eagles repeat? Yes, that's better than talking dynasty right now. That conversation is still too far away.
Well, if they repeat, then they are a dynasty.
No, they aren't.
In my eyes, they are. In your eyes, they're not. In Connor's eyes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Winning 2 years in a row does not make you a dynasty. It does not. You're literally you're watering down a term to try to shoehorn your team into it.
Absolutely, go Birds.
Two Super Bowls Super Bowls does not make you a dynasty.
Winning 2, being in 3 over the span of 4 years.
No. You have to have a third title. Now, if you tell me then you start counting losses in there like the Chiefs can. They can count in losses over a period of time and go, hey, we've been to 6 Super Bowls in 8 years.
Well, they're a dynasty.
They are because they have 3 championships.
Okay.
You got to have the 3. Got to get there first. But once you do, you're fine. Dallas, I believe, went 1-2, lost an NFC title game, then won a third. That was the Dallas dynasty. And they took care of business. Now we'll see what happens with this group. I just feel excited because you were just rattling off names in that stupid Dove Kleiman of just he's.
Well, no, Dove didn't have the names. I had the names.
Yeah,
that was from Salciunas.
Statistics. To me, it's the idea of wow, we've never had a team in this city that was more suited to win and to create a dynasty type situation than this team. Maybe the 2008 Phillies.
Yeah, no, I would say 100% the 2008
Yeah, but
Phillies.
but I don't think the 2008 Phillies had the pitching to do it. I don't think they had the
No,
pitching
but then they added to it.
sustain.
Yeah, then they went and got
well,
it.
then that's the thing but I'm talking about we don't have to talk about them adding anything.
Right, I get what you're
The
saying.
Eagles right now, as they are currently constituted, they're going to keep some, lose some. They're currently constituted. They're going to be good enough as a core to be division favorites, which gives you a home game, which gives you the opportunity.
Well, if
to
we're
say,
talking 22 starters, what, Slay might be the only guy gone?
You gotta add the guy that's
You're
gonna
gonna
run
lose.
your entire offense.
No, I'm just saying if we're talking 22,
no, you're going to lose.
22
You're
starters.
going to lose Williams.
Yeah, starters.
Okay.
Jordan Davis is usually
Yeah,
starting.
exactly.
I'm saying of the 22 starters, in terms of great point to start at,
Right.
Oh no, it's great.
you might only be losing one in Darius Slay because everyone else is under contract. Right?
Oh, Sweat.
Sorry, all right, two.
Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, those are ones.
Yeah, all right, that's a good
So
point.
it's more.
You're,
So there's
you're smart,
now
smarter than
you're
You're
down-
too caught up on
now you're
dynasty
down-
talk. You
now
don't
you're
even
down to
know.
19.
Oh wow, 19. Damn,
No,
only
it's really
19 of
good.
22 starters.
No, it's really good.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Let's go to George in South Jersey. He wants to talk about it. What's up, Georgie?
Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good, George.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just, still coming down off the high from the parade, man.
That's why I'm trying to get higher. Oh man.
It was a great experience. I actually got a chance to bring my 11-year-old daughter with me.
That's awesome.
Which is funny because, I said every week, man, she sits in that other room, her and my other daughter, and I'm in the room yelling and screaming and Eagles chants and all that. And they kind of leave me alone every Sunday. So I said, you know what? This parade come, I'm going to bring you. So we got a chance to go, man. The players were awesome. We got out there about 5:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
Got our spot right in the front. My daughter got a chance to meet a few of the players. They came, took pictures with her.
That's cool.
They were throwing the ball across the street. I caught one. She got a chance to throw it. So, I mean, it was just a great experience for us. And I think the greatest part was just having her with me and having her.
I love that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all about community. It's all about family, right? Like, sports brings a lot of people together, and the fact that you could share that moment with your daughter, you can now remember that the rest of your life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, man, just I listen to you guys every morning, man. It's actually my first time really getting a chance to call in.
You're the man.
We appreciate you.
So they could be a dynasty, right? C word.
Absolutely. I see us going back there next year. Like you guys were just saying, we still have our core players, and I feel like next year we should definitely come back and be the number one contender and really be able to.
See, George isn't skipping chest day. George is keeping the chest day, momentum. Thanks, George. Appreciate the call. He's spotting me at the gym.
Yeah, and that meteor could hit us too.
There's a
Could.
chance.
It could.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Was it up
about
to 9%?
To 2%, I think.
Oh, we're back down? Okay, cool.
It's 2%, I think. Yeah, the meteor.
They just
Right on
got
the
It's not going to hit.
They just got to
It's not
send.
supposed to hit the United States, though.
They got to send Bruce out there. Ben Affleck was in that movie.
Didn't they shoot this stupid asteroid?
I think so.
down?
No, they drilled through it, Johnny.
They drilled
Come
through
on,
it.
man.
Come on, don't you dare disrespect.
Armageddon's a great film.
Armageddon, thank you.
You didn't remember the name of that. Don't play that.
Wait a
off.
minute.
I know Bruce was
It's
in
not
it.
as dumb as the Will Smith Independence Day.
Oh, man.
Which was the stupidest thing ever depicted. Stupid.
I think both are solid movies.
There's a giant fireball coming from a nuclear thing, and they hide behind a steel door and wait for it to pass. And then they get in a truck and start the truck.
John's got a lot to say
Like this.
today.
Seriously.
Not just
What
about
kind of idiocy
Philadelphia
is that?
sports. All right, coming up
Where's
next.
the continuity?
We reset today's show, and Johnny said something before the show, and he didn't even know that I took note of it. I was like a journalist. Taking note. It was like Arcia talking smack about Bryce Harper. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The celebration concludes. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a wild weekend here in Philadelphia celebrating the Super Bowl champion Eagles. I'm not saying you have to conclude celebrating, but with the parade finishing up, the celebration officially of the Philadelphia Eagles has come to an end. But Friday was a special day we're going to remember for a long time. Jalen Hurts took time to thank the fans during his speech.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year. All the passion, every ounce of it
And as we continue to remember the fond memories of Friday and the season that led up to it, it's time to turn our attention to what's next for the Birds. They've got some staffing potential issues. We know that offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is now the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. They'll have to refill that position. Kellen Moore is also interviewing Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier for his offensive coordinator job down in New Orleans, and Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker is interviewed for the Saints defensive coordinator job. We'll see if those are more spots the Eagles have to fill this offseason. The Sixers are off till Thursday, Flyers off till Saturday. Phillies fully reported to spring training today. Their first game in spring training is on Saturday. This update is brought to you by Corona. Want to win a ticket to a Sixers game? Enter for your chance to win at the Fanatics Corona Sixers pregame party events happening all season long, hosted by our man Andrew Salciunas. For details, go to the events page on 975thefanatic.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Vacation? Business trip? Don't worry. You can still hear all your favorite Fanatic shows no matter where you go. The 97.5 The Fanatic app. Philly sports in the palm of your hand. Listen to our 24/7 live stream. Get up to the minute Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, and Union commentary.
Head to Google Play or the Apple App Store now and download our free app.
What's up, guys? Andrew. College basketball is reaching its most exciting stretch of the season, and right now, new customers on FanDuel get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $150 to bet on everything from conference clashes to tournament upsets and even who's cutting down the nets, or just from random games on a Sunday. And my house, bad loss yesterday.
Yeah.
97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Before we reset the show, thank you to Connor Thomas, who
thank you, CT18.
bought breakfast this morning because he lost to the house that was Salciunas Sportsbook.
I mean, Nick Serianni, I might call for his job this offseason.
We made the bet. I set the line at 4.5, over under 4.5 curses.
He
from
curses
Nick
in
Sirianni.
normal press conferences, and he doesn't say a word up there
Not
for
one.
the parade.
You know why? Because he's now a Super Bowl
I told you
champion.
Friday morning. I guarantee you his wife got to him. Because when you're not married, Connie, you don't understand. I guarantee you there are events where your wife says to you.
Well, he was married this
Guys,
season.
Yeah, but he never, ever had a Super Bowl parade to
good
do
point.
that. And remember, what was he told after week 4? After week 5 with the Cleveland Browns? Calm your ass down, dude. Stop with the...
No,
don't
Nick,
make yourself,
say the F word.
Don't make yourself... don't make yourself a spectacle. And, Nick, there are millions of coaches that have won championships that didn't feel the need to curse. So I think he was given the warning. I think his wife was
So you're
part
proud of him.
Yeah,
I
I
want
am.
Nick Sirianni's mouth washed out with soap by the end of the time he's done his next parade
Now,
speech.
a couple of bets from Salciunas
me
Sportsbook
breakfast.
that nobody won. BG was not the fur coat wearer of Chris Long.
Josh Sweat.
Josh Sweat wore the fur coat that Chris Long wore at Super Bowl 52's parade. And drunkest Eagle, I think I said Landon Dickerson.
Nolan Smith, right?
He won. Yeah,
He
yeah.
wins.
But none of us said Nolan Smith.
No.
But
Nolan Smith, Smith had himself a time.
I was told the cameras don't tell the tale that Quinyon Mitchell gives a run.
Oh, Q
Oh, no. The camera told
for
the
Nolan
tale.
Smith. See, I didn't see the coverage of that.
Oh, there was a video. I think it was Fox went up to him with a microphone and was like, "Yo, how are you feeling?" And James Bradbury actually got in between and was like, "Go Birds, go Birds."
Wait a minute. James Bradbury broke something up?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because he knew that Q was obliterated, and maybe he was like, "Let me get in front of this now before he says something bad."
I just never saw James Bradbury do anything like that, actually disrupt something.
He did 2 years ago when he was an All-Pro. 3 years ago.
So he was holding it. Was he holding him at the time?
Wow.
Why are we taking shots at a guy that's
Just
a
wondering.
Super Bowl champion?
Just wondering.
I have no beef with James Bradbury. He got old and he couldn't cover anymore. He was a
Shame.
great Eagle 3 years ago. He's an All-Pro.
Just don't be handsy.
And what are you
They
playing for
won
that play?
another. Okay.
Don't be handsy.
Yeah,
Man, you're
Q
taking
was
James
hammered. though.
Bradbury shots? Come on,
Come
man.
on, he had nothing to do with this championship. Come on now.
He helped coach.
He had nothing to do with it.
All right. Well,
Thank you,
he
buddy.
helped save Quinyon Mitchell
Yes,
from maybe saying something
exactly.
bad on the
Could have
camera.
been.
All right. So I am disappointed in John and Connor today. I was disappointed in them all weekend.
Good.
You know,
Glad to see it lingered.
I wanted to go home and enjoy myself this weekend. First
Nobody was
weekend,
stopping you, Connor. We weren't
first
stopping him,
weekend
right?
without football, and instead, because I had no football to watch, I had a lot of time to my thoughts, and that's a dangerous place to be. The mind of Andrew Salciunas. You can get lost in there quickly, and
I
then
bet.
stay there for a long time.
I bet.
But last week, all I said was how the Eagles could become a dynasty because they won the Super Bowl, and then obviously they are built. We remember that we read that article 2 weeks ago that broke down all the contracts and the core and how this could be something special for years to come.
Sure.
And all I uttered was the word could, the C word. And yet I was shot down immediately
And on social
by
media this
both
morning.
John Kincade and Connor Thomas and cowardly Eagles fans on social media this morning.
They just want to talk about reality, talk about things that are of interest. There's so many things
This
that are
is
of interest.
interesting. If they win this year, which they could, they are built to potentially
Then
get
they
back.
only have to win one more to be a dynasty.
Well, that's your definition.
So, in other words, 2 more wins.
That's
We're
your
talking about
definition.
that. Yes, it is. It's the definition of a dynasty. It's not 2 wins.
There is no definition.
There's no
Dynasty.
finite definition
you guys
of
can
the dynasty.
you guys can make any if you want. Talk to a professional athlete. 2 would not tell you. I
They
guarantee
also
you they
don't
would
make
not say
the finite definition, John. This
There's-
is an argument based on these
this is called-
intangible things.
This is called I want something to fit, so I'll shoehorn it into fitting what I want it to.
Hell yeah, man.
No.
I'm going to make this happen. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl 60, I'm going to paint Dynasty on my chest. And I'm going to come in the next day and you're going to tell me it's not a dynasty?
Ridiculous. They win
The day
3.
after the Eagles win
No,
the
they
Super
win
Bowl
their-
60?
When they win their 3rd, you can have this conversation. It's just silly. It's just silly
I
talk.
don't know how it's silly when I say the word could and you shoot me down immediately.
Well, there could be anything. They could go 5-12 next year.
They could.
They could lose their quarterback in game one. There are all these coulds. We could talk about a million of them that, by the way, are more. Let's talk about this. When we get to the second, I'll gladly consider the third.
Wow.
Not going to consider.
I'd like to.
And I'm not going to start counting losses to a dynasty, which is the weakest ass thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, I'd just like to make a quick guarantee here on this day, February 17th, 2025. Eagles aren't going 5-12.
Okay,
I would like to put the guarantee on that right now. That's the one thing I feel confident about.
You picked up a dumbbell.
You
There
did.
you go.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't believe they will either. I'll tell you, much like I did in May of this year, I'll look at it and I'll tell you where they will be after I see free agency and the draft. I'll tell you where they'll end up. I told you guys you had to work on a certain Sunday in January. You did. Now, that was as far as I was willing to go. And around halfway through the season, I thought, yeah, that's about where it'll potentially putter out. And then all hell broke loose.
Well, of course, once you start making reservations.
Well, the turnovers is really what sort of brought it into. I still can't get over the way this team all of a sudden.
They had two the first 6 weeks?
And then it became a turnover. They were just a turnover monster.
Yeah, they taxed.
And to me, that was the most incredible thing. Like all of a sudden, they turned that spigot on and it never shut off. It was awesome. Absolutely fantastic.
All right, so before the show started.
Yeah.
I was taking notes. I was the guy. Who was the guy that ended up putting out the Orlando Arcia story? Do we remember? Was it John Boy? I forget.
No. It was the guys from Cespedes Family
That's
Barbecue.
what it was.
One of the guys.
Yeah, and he did Attaboy Harper.
Yes.
And Travis Darno.
It's
a sanctuary.
The clubhouse is a sanctuary.
Or Arcia tried denying it.
Stop it.
It's ridiculous.
Stop it.
So before the show, you said something. I immediately said, let me take note of that.
Really?
You believe.
I told you about a great restaurant I went at ate that last.
No, it wasn't that.
Wasn't that?
So I want to say this right now. I agree with you.
Okay.
Because I have the backs of my co-hosts.
Yeah.
And my coworkers.
Okay.
But, apparently I'm the only one around here.
What do we got?
You say that when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, it makes for a more interesting offseason.
Yes.
And explain yourself, because, again, I took note of it, but I would like you to explain it.
Because I think any discussion, much like could they be a dynasty? Those type of discussions are far more positive than could they turn this thing around? Last year, we spent 6 months preparing for a bird season. And honestly, the majority of the discussions began on a negative point.
Yes.
Every discussion of this offseason, I can't think of the ones that would begin on a negative point. So to me, it's a more interesting offseason because I think it brings more people to the table when they feel like the discussions are positive. The discussions are, look what we potentially could see happen this year. Look how loaded we are. Because so many things were proven last year.
Right.
And for someone like me, Connor looks at things more gray area. I look at things as, what did you show me? Let's see your work. And to me, this team showed so much of its work and showed so much to be like freaking bouncing off the walls about.
Right.
That I think it makes for a great offseason of talk because people will be all engaged. Everybody will remember that feeling of Friday.
Yeah.
And wow, was it awesome.
See, now I agree with you, and you know me. I love when things are going well. Right?
my God.
There's the old notion that you guys like it when things are bad because you get higher ratings. Like, no, A, that's factually incorrect. And B, I can't live a life of misery. I can only imagine what sports talk radio must have been like 20 years ago when nothing was really good. I obviously the Eagles were good 20 years ago. I'm trying to think of actually, I could even talk about it. I was here for it. Like during the dog days when the Phillies weren't making the playoffs, Chip Kelly was the head coach, the Sixers were in the process, and the Flyers were in and out every other year. That sucked. I don't want that anymore, right? I want what we have now with the Eagles. Even though the Phillies have been disappointments in the playoffs, I want my team to be contenders for their division title year in and year out. The Sixers were there a couple of years ago. The Flyers are hopefully getting there down the road. So I agree with you. They were there.
And they lost the second round.
Yep.
They weren't even in the mix.
But I
the
think you're wrong.
Okay.
In terms of the masses.
Let me hear about this.
Well, I will explain more coming up on the other side.
That sounds ominous.
I think the masses actually disagree with your opinion.
Count me as one of the masses.
Wow.
See, I knew it.
I'm shocked.
We'll discuss this
I'm
more
shocked
coming
that
up
the
next.
golden retriever is going to change on this.
I think
and thank
more,
you for breakfast, Kyle.
I think more
Of
people
course.
are interested in fixing than retaining.
Wow.
And I've gotten that sense.
Maintaining is what I would
Maintaining.
call it. But that's
Yep.
the same thing, same concept.
I think more people are interested
Wow.
in fixes.
Okay.
And I'll explain more coming up next. We'd love to hear from you on any of our topics today. It's 610-632-0975. Are you cowardly like John and Connor when I just bring up the Dynasty could conversation? Cowards? My God. And when it comes to this conversation about interest in an offseason, we'll discuss more next. Are you more interested in an offseason where it's maintaining or fixing? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitalico, and Silvana Kelleher. The best show ever. Smart, intelligent conversation you need to hear. Listen weekdays 2 to 6 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
With the cold weather upon us, don't let your home improvement projects freeze up. Let our team of preferred pros keep your home warm, safe, and prepared to tackle the cold. From heating and plumbing to junk removal and repairs, our team of experts has you covered. Make this winter easier, one project at a time, with preferred pros.
Clogged drains, leaking sinks, no hot water? Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Schedule fast expert plumbing service at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Landis Block transforms your backyard into a dream oasis. Visit landisbc.com to start envisioning your paradise today. From paving to landscaping, Landis Block, your backyard, your paradise.
Generac is the name you can trust for automatic standby home generators. And Advanced Electrical Services Group provides sales and service to match. Go to advancedesg.com for your free estimate.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply or play. Stop. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Looking to get doctor-prescribed medication like Ozempic or Wegovy? Zelty can help you get GLP-1 medications affordably, whether you have insurance and even if you don't, and 100% online. It's simple. Just text coverage to 200-300 to get started. Zelty can help you get Ozempic, Wegovy, or Zepbound covered by your insurance company, so you pay as little as $0 for the medication if prescribed. No insurance? No problem. Zelty can ship semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and Zepbound, for as little as $151 a month versus $1,000 plus for name brand medications. Either way, it's high quality medical care, weight loss coaching, and access to game-changing medications. All 100% online with Zelty and affordable with or without insurance. So don't wait. Text coverage to 200-300 to get started today on your weight loss journey with Zelty. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text coverage to 200-300. That's coverage to 200-300. Text coverage to 200-300.
Hey, it's Ray Dunn. As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up. Fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get in on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the app and sign up with promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, it's Mike Missanelli, and Kia is way ahead of the curve when it comes to hybrids and electric cars. If you talk to anyone driving a Kia Electric, they'll tell you they never go back. They're saving so much money. And the team at Gateway Kia is incredibly helpful in explaining everything and setting you up. The Telluride, like the one I drive now from Gateway Kia, is another example of their commitment to quality. Whether it's the new Carnival Hybrid or the all-electric Kia K9, they've got you covered. So visit Gateway Kia today and tell them Mike Miss sent you.
Now's the perfect time to sign up for the MVP newsletter. Receive content specifically tailored to you. Get chances to win exclusive contests. Catch up with on-demand segments from Kincade Salciunas, Mike Missanelli, and the best show ever.
What are you waiting for? Head to 975thefanatic.com/newsletter to subscribe now.
This is Kincade and Salciunas. Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 97.5 The Fanatic.
7 o'clock hour of Kincade Salciunas is brought to you by the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app. You can play your favorite casino games and bet sports. You love to play and you play to win. So if you bet Parks, you got to be 21 in Pennsylvania or Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So let's see if I'm right here and that John Kincaid's wrong, which is normal on this show.
Really? Have you checked your social media today?
Look, I thought we were talking about
I would say you're getting trounced.
I thought we were talking about
I would say you're getting trounced on this
Philadelphia,
point.
as Ray Dunn.
It's not being negative. It's not being negative to not say winning 2 is not a dynasty.
Being cowardly.
No, it's not. It's like changing descriptions of words. I know that's become a big thing. We're not changing descriptions of words. Words mean what they mean. And it's not winning 2 is
But
great.
there is no definition
it's
for
great.
dynasty.
Back to back is great. But if you want to start stretching into dynasties, there have been 4 in the NFL. And if you go and read what the NFL considers their dynasties off of NFL.com,
what do they know?
They consider dynasties, well, they all have 3 championships. They all keep the quarterback and coach together.
Okay.
That's one of them. Quarterback, coach, GM, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, those are all together. That consistently lean through it. So that's what you're shooting for down the line. When the second one happens, Andrew, I will be all over this. I'll be all over it. And I hope it can be.
Well, then we'll just replay this show.
Because the numbers I told you really tell you that winning 2 in a row is an incredibly difficult task.
Oh, absolutely. So you said before the show, and we just talked about last segment, that you believe after winning a Super Bowl, or I would imagine just being one of the Final 4 teams.
Sure.
You know,
if you're Final 4, you are a Super Bowl contender. You're a championship contender.
And you believe that it makes for a more interesting offseason.
Yes.
Now,
to the masses. You're getting people in here. You are getting people that there's more people that are interested.
I agree with you that it is more interesting. I don't believe the masses agree with you. And Connor, go ahead. I want you to explain yourself because I already know where you're going to go with it, but I want you to do the talking.
Yeah, it's not more interesting. It's more enjoyable, but it's not a more interesting offseason than the one they went through last year. Like, what is the most interesting move the Eagles are going to make this offseason? They're going to get a new offensive coordinator, and that's going to be very important. But we talked about the players they already have locked in. Like, was this Phillies offseason interesting?
No.
Because they didn't have much that they could change.
No, but they didn't
I
do
got
anything.
Max Kepler, man.
They also didn't do anything, and they were a disappointing team. 2 years in a row, they have managed to gag.
Well, Johnny, when we brought up the Myles Garrett thing, which would be a big thing the Eagles can do, you said there's no way.
Because it's not realistic.
Okay, well, it's a lot of the big, exciting moves are not going to be realistic if you're bringing back 19 starters.
You were telling us from the beginning that Juan Soto there was no chance.
And they weren't doing it, and people still talked about the nonsense that they were, and they never even made a phone call.
So that makes it less interesting.
No,
exactly.
Talking about stuff that's fiction is less interesting to me. Talking about stuff that's not going to happen.
All right, but is Max Kepler interesting to you?
No, Max Kepler isn't. What the Phillies have done, you guys will drink the Kool-Aid and be like, it's going to be okay. It'll all work out.
Who are you talking to?
No, I'm saying is Connor loves it's all going to be okay. It'll be
miserable.
okay.
I haven't said that about this team.
This team, you've done it 2 years in a row.
Okay, well, it's a different year.
2 years
so
in
we'll
a row.
cross that bridge when we get there.
No, it's the same team.
But let's focus on the Eagles.
But it's the same team. And it's the same mentality to me, I believe there will be many more people engaged in this offseason because of the joy they felt for the previous season. I think there are many people after a crappy season that check out until the next season in their passion.
See, and
totally
I disagree because of people, especially this city. Maybe this city might be different than others.
No, dude, it's the same everywhere.
Yeah, but dude, draft talk here is crazy.
I don't care. It's a news principle that's existed since news was a thing. If it bleeds, it leads. That's how it goes. The negative leads shows all the time, everywhere, not just in Philly. If it bleeds, it leads is one of the first things you learn about how people put together news stories in a hierarchy. So the bad off seasons where you're trying to correct things are inherently more interesting to the masses than the positive ones where everyone's happy. Now, I enjoy the positive off seasons more because we're in a better place. But to say it's more interesting than trying to rebuild the team, I don't think it's
and
right.
Well, we're going to be able to see this all play out.
I know.
We're going to see it all play out. We're going to see what
intrigue.
people do. I think that if I'm not mistaken, the draft in Dallas after they won the Super Bowl was the highest rated locally here.
Okay.
So they won the Super Bowl. Now, the draft was in Dallas. That could have been part of it.
Yeah, and I think also like knowing that you were going to get someone to go up there and
David
talk trash to the
Akers,
Cowboys
yeah.
That
fans.
could have been, but it was the highest rated, I believe, local Super Bowl.
Okay.
Post-Super Bowl. The post-Super Bowl draft was big.
I just I think about if I play video games, right? If I do a sports, Madden, MLB,
Okay.
I'm always doing a redraft because I want to build the team. I'm not picking the team that just won the World Series in the previous year
And saying,
let me add to it.
I
It's
think
not as fun.
I think Connor's point of more. What did you say? More.
It'll be a more
happy.
enjoyable
A more enjoyable
off season.
Yes.
But I don't think it'll be more interesting.
We're gonna see from people.
I think basketball, right? The Sixers in this city. I remember talking to somebody a couple of years ago. This is before the Sixers are dead, right? The Sixers are still, hey, they just need to get over that hump. They just need to get over that hump. And I remember talking to somebody that was like, man, I miss the days of watching the lottery balls. And I'm like, I don't.
Oh my gosh, who is the?
There
who
were
are these
people that were so obsessed with the process and the idea of the process that there are people that would like to. Nowadays, it's not that crazy to say they want to get back to the process. But a couple of years ago, when the Sixers were good, there were people that missed the process days. They missed lottery night. They missed the first-round draft pick, even though you knew for months who they were selecting.
I will always tell you that is the dumbest of the DNA fan base that we've ever had in this town. That whole obsession with that stupid-ass process, which reaped nothing. Is that
I don't think it was dumb to be obsessed with it.
The obsession with it was because the people who were obsessed with it, the majority, not everybody, acted as if it was some. Oh my gosh, this is brilliant!
Oh, it wasn't the greatest
It's freaking
idea ever.
brilliant.
No,
this was not. No, it's not brilliant because you and I could burn a building to the ground.
Yes.
You and I could do that. We could sit and have an hour meeting after the show and figure out how to burn the Phillies to the ground, how to burn a franchise to the ground. Whereas with the Eagles, I'm fascinated with this is the maintenance.
I've never seen a rebuild in my life with the Eagles.
No, you haven't in your lifetime.
Seen a retool?
No, you've seen retools. You've
Never seen a rebuild. My entire life, I've never seen a rebuild with the Philadelphia Eagles. Isn't that amazing?
And better yet, every new coach that you've seen, well, you can't count Andy Reid. You were not even when Andy Reid was hired in '99.
No, I was a pup.
Right. You can't count that one. Every coach that they hire makes the playoffs their first year.
Except for Doug.
They
but it was
it.
Doug and Wentz, and it was 7-9, and you felt good about
and
the future.
And you got the Wentz thing and everything.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Absolutely. So I disagree with you when it comes to the masses. I do think the masses like rebuild conversation more than retool. But I'm with you. I would rather have the retool conversation.
People check in on the text line with that.
Yeah, please. 610-632-0975. We'll check the text line coming up. Also, coming up next, we're going to start playing clips throughout the rest of the show today of something amazing. The Eagles posted an 11-minute video of the final team meeting before Super Bowl 59. This is when all the players had some speeches before the game itself. So the Eagles took you behind the scenes. We'll play some of the clips for you coming up next and throughout the course of the rest of the show on Kincade and Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
What a parade it was. I'm Connor Thomas, and we had ourselves a fun weekend here in Philadelphia celebrating the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. The parade Friday gave us a number of memorable moments, including Jalen Hurts taking to the podium, talking about the season, and thanking the fans.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year, all the passion, every ounce of it.
Yes, everyone. It took everyone to find the Super Bowl championship, but with the parade's conclusion comes the change of focus to what's next for the Eagles. Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier is interviewed for the Saints offensive coordinator job. Eagles defensive back coach Christian Parker has interviewed for the Saints defensive coordinator job. So those two position coaches could be following Kellen Moore, Eagles former offensive coordinator, who is now the head coach in New Orleans. It could be multiple spots on the coaching staff the Eagles have to replace, so we'll keep an eye on that as the offseason gets going. Sixers are off till Thursday, Flyers off till Saturday. Phillies fully report to spring training today. Their first spring training game is this coming Saturday. This update is brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Play your favorite casino games and bet sports on the BetParks app. You love to play, you play to win. You bet BetParks. Must be 21 in PA or New Jersey. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel.
Watch the live stream of Kincade and Salciunas, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the Mike Missanelli Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Go to youtube.com/97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia and subscribe today to be part of the action.
All right. Now, Andrew Salciunas says I threw cold water on him. That can't be true. 'Cause I got a Bradford White water heater. And Bradford White water heaters provide endless hot water. So if anything, he got splashed with hot water. And they're built to be there. And they're a local company. And they understand that you need something that is going to be dependable and easy to use in your house. Now, there's a lot of times where you have just not even thought about all the appliances in your home that are reliant on a hot water heater. When you have a water heater from Bradford White, their Infinity Series tankless models, well, they provide you endless hot water on demand, and they're very, very energy efficient. You can find an installation pro near you when you visit BradfordWhite.com. They will tell you exactly what you need for the size of your home, how many people are living in it. They can come bring it to you, install it, and make sure it is working at peak efficiency. You'll be able to run your laundry, you'll be able to do the dishwasher, and take all the hot showers you need. Because if I'm going to splash Andrew Salciunas with water, it's going to be hot. It's going to be from Bradford White. Because how you heat your water, it does matter. Choose my friends at Bradford White.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other.
7:25 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Championship Monday morning, presented to us by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com. I saw my folks yesterday. They came up and watched Coop while Christy and I went to the highly anticipated Temple FAU Owls v. Owls game. My dad
How was it?
Oh, the game sucked.
Yeah.
But the day was nice.
That's nice.
My dad showed up. He had the Super Bowl 59 T-shirt on. He was all fired up, man.
That's
great.
Awesome. So where'd he get it? Rally House?
Another clothing
City of the
department.
House?
But I told him that he should go to Rally House. It's your city. It's your house. It's Rally House. And he said he was actually going to go to a Rally House sometime.
I went in Exton again yesterday. I have no idea why.
How many times have you gone to Rally House? And I'm not upset about it. But how many times have you gone since the Super Bowl?
I've gone to Exton Rally House now 3 times in a week. And by the way, my Valentine got me a Super Bowl champs tumbler for my morning iced tea at Rally House. They had them. And they had a lot of stuff. There's one brand that they have a lot of great stuff.
Yes.
You saw that homage stuff.
Yeah, I loved it.
By the way, they call it homage, but it's the homage. Yeah. The homage stuff, but there's one brand that I don't like their clothing.
Okay.
So thankfully they have like 3 and 4 different brands.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for stuff for the trip because I know that I want to have birds. I got another pool hat. Good hat to wear
get like
in the pool.
an Eagles Hawaiian shirt, man.
I have an Eagles Hawaiian shirt.
I'll get more.
I believe.
You got to get a Super Bowl 59 Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I'm
man.
fine with that. I don't wear that many. But I mean, there will be enough Super Bowl 59 stuff bought.
Oh, yeah.
I got the license plate frame on the car already.
Well, that's the thing. If you go to Rally House, it's not just shirts.
It's everything.
It's the tumblers and all kinds of stuff.
It's the license plate frame is on the Super Bowl 59.
That's good
and
work.
I told Christina I will not be trading it out for my Phillies plate frame during Philly season. Super Bowl gets it all year.
Dude, Super Bowl
if the Phillies win, I'll get one of the World Series champs and I'll wear it all year long.
All right, sounds good. All right, so the Eagles posted a great video over the weekend, and it was like an 11-minute long video of the final team meeting before Super Bowl 59.
Awesome.
And this is when a lot of the players get a lot of things off their chests. If you remember, Jason Kelce, before, I think it was Super Bowl 57. This wasn't the Super Bowl 52 one. Jason Kelce was great. And he spoke for, believe it or not, a long time. But the Jeff Stoutland part where he talks about how much Jeff Stoutland has meant for him, it was great. And this is where a lot of players, it's their last chance to say a lot of things to maybe the last time they're all together in the same room. Think about it.
It could be. No, there's going to be
free agents.
There's going to be 10 to 15 faces will change out most likely.
Yeah.
Between coaches and players and everything, and it's going to work.
And, once you win a Super Bowl, everyone's taking 55 different directions because they're doing media tours and all that kind of stuff. So this could have been the last time they were all together in the room before a game. And so I want to play Lane Johnson first because Lane Johnson, obviously the vet. Lane Johnson, the one that won in Super Bowl 52, was on the field during Super Bowl 57 and lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. And he took note of something following Super Bowl 57 when the Kansas City Chiefs made T-shirts. Their offensive linemen made T-shirts for their Super Bowl parade. Here was Lane Johnson speaking to his teammates the night before Super Bowl 59.
We were here a couple years ago. I felt like we were a little bit over-emotional. I think the thing we need to focus on offensively is they're a finesse team. They're going to try to junk up and up our points because man for man, they're not going to let us just tee off on them because they will get f***ed up. And they're going to get f***ed up tomorrow. So just remember them shirts they had on their parade a few years ago. Keep that in mind as y'all keep annihilating his ass tomorrow. So,
and what was it? No sacks?
0 sacks.
0 sacks.
Because obviously the Eagles had 70 sacks that season, so they wore the offensive linemen of the Kansas City Chiefs wore T-shirts that said 0 sacks on it.
And the milk.
And the milk, yeah.
The milk company, because it's weird. Kansas City fans are like, we won and we did it with class.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy crap, you did.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, go back to Hooterville.
But I loved Lane Johnson's message. He's basically like, just, they're going to try to play with finesse, so just bleep them up. And I know you're going to bleep them up.
And you know who listened to that message, too?
Everybody on the defensive line.
And Nick Serianni.
Oh, yeah.
Because of when we heard we played it the other day for you. The
kill shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is something that he didn't do the first time he was in the Super Bowl. He didn't do that when he had chances to do it multiple times.
Yeah.
He didn't do those aggressive things. He stayed aggressive, and it paid off.
Yeah,
for him.
absolutely. So that was cool of Lane Johnson. Let's
Really cool.
Let's play one more vet. And again, we're going to play these throughout the course of the show today. We're not going to all fit it in here in this one segment. But Brandon Graham, the other guy that won Super Bowl 52, that was on the field for Super Bowl 57, and it was really, really amazing to see him back on the field for Super Bowl 59 when we all thought that his season and maybe his career was over when he got hurt against the Rams in the regular season. He comes back to play in Super Bowl 59 and actually, as we mentioned multiple times, was impactful in Super Bowl 59. Here was BG the night before the Super Bowl.
Fellas, going on 15 years, man, it's crazy because being a captain, having that C on your chest, some of you are talking to others, but, man, I appreciate y'all boys, man, because y'all made it so easy. Because y'all boys wasn't scared of working. Y'all worked every day. Even when I was sitting down, I got to really see it from the outside, just really watch some things that go on when I was hurt. And I was just reflecting like, man, anytime you get an opportunity, like I tell y'all, to get on that field, that y'all are able to play on this field, man, take advantage because you don't know when your last play going to be. Shoot, I don't know what this going to be for me, but I promise you I'm so happy to be able to play with y'all boys. Y'all going to get 100%, and I know I'm going to get 100 from y'all. And, man, I'm telling you, let's go out and have some fun, man. I appreciate y'all boys, man. And let's end it the right way. Let's run through the finish line.
Love that. I mean, that was great. And an interesting perspective when he mentions, like, I was watching a lot of it from the sidelines because of the injury. He had the major, the ACL injury a couple of years ago. You're not around the team when you have an injury like that.
I think it was Achilles.
Achilles, thank you.
Well, you're around, but you're peripheral.
Right, whereas this, he was on the sideline during the games because it wasn't a lower body injury where he had to avoid, getting hit by a player coming off on the sideline. So he was able to stay around, and, he was probably able to learn a lot more. Like, when you're an athlete, you just do it, right? Like, you're told what to do in warm-ups. You're told what to do in practice.
You go and you do it.
But when you're on the side and you're watching it unfold for an extended period of time, I wonder if BG just had a different respect for what goes into the NFL, and he already knew it because he's played it so long.
I love you guys aren't afraid of hard work.
Yeah.
And to me, it just speaks of that is the hard work they were talking about was the hard work dictated by Vic Fangio. And we just saw the year before the Miami Dolphins couldn't handle the same challenge. And so this group is a mentality of we want to work hard. We want to do whatever it's going to take to succeed.
Right.
And that's awesome. That's great. That is great to know that about the players you're rooting for on a daily basis.
And we're going to play more of these throughout the course of the show. But what do we have on the text line today, Mr. Thomas?
All right, we have a lot of people checking in on the dynasty conversation. A check-in here, no name on this. Oh, sorry, Peter from Reading says, Eagles win third Super Bowl in the next 3 years, and that's 3 in 10 years. Dynasty.
No, it's not.
I don't.
No, it's not because the coach is different. The quarterbacks are different. Totally different. You got to have the dynasties of the NFL, quarterback, coach, general manager. They exist together. The 2018 title is not the 2025 title.
Let me ask you something. I'm curious.
Yes.
Would you consider it if Doug won it with Wentz after winning it with Foles?
No, that'd be 2.
No, I know. I'm saying you say it's got to be the same coach, same quarterback. But if you win with your backup quarterback.
No, that would be fine. Yeah, because that would be an odd.
I'm just making
That would have been an odd. That would have been odd. But they still would have needed a third.
Right.
You need a third to get that done. Yes. According to
we all got different standards.
According to the NFL's dynasty list, yes, it does.
I don't know. There's this Washington almost dynasty that some people call one where they got like 2 in 4 years.
Washington won 3 in 11 years. In 11 years of the original. By the way, I still think the 11-year run of Joe Gibbs, the first time he was the Redskins coach, was arguably one of the greatest runs in NFL history. But he won 3 times in 11 years. And lost 1, and won with 3 different starting quarterbacks, which is bizarre.
So is that dynasty or no?
No, it's not dynasty.
What about the Joe Gibbs dynasty?
Joe Gibbs, that 11-year run, though, is one of the greatest runs I think I've ever seen.
So this is the Jeffrey Lurie dynasty, and
to
we've been in it for 20 years.
Damn
to
right
win
it
it,
is,
Jeffrey
man.
Lurie, man. 25 years. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
We'll keep this discussion up. All I'm saying is they could be a dynasty because of how they're built moving forward.
They could be a huge disappointment.
Cold water has been poured on me.
They
and
could
I thought
be
we were doing chest day
division
every
winners.
day. I thought we were doing chest day every day on the show. Apparently not. But also, what is your definition of a dynasty is apparently being discussed as well. We could text in, call in 610-632-0975. So, coming up next, we'll check our text line on today's topics. Also, how to not grow your game that is losing interest from the casual fan. It was on display this weekend. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sixers win. Play that song.
The Philadelphia Flyers.
Rebounded from Chop. They score.
The games are here. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
What's up, guys? Andrew, let's talk about your home, especially when we got the crazy winds, crazy weather that's approaching. April showers bring May flowers, and of course, when it's randomly 60 degrees the other day, all the snow melts. So, of course, you got to make sure a lot of things going on in your house, like crawl space, water getting down. Have you noticed a spring in your step when walking through your house? If your floors feel bouncy and uneven, well, then it's time to call Groundworks, the crawl space experts, because they know that bouncy floors could be caused by inadequate support from floor joists and underlying structures, which can lead to serious structural issues if left unaddressed. When Groundworks crawl space repair experts come out, they'll explain exactly what's happening and identify a permanent crawl space solution, and they'll provide you no pressure quote. They do all this, by the way, for free. They don't come out, there's no inspection fee, right? They do everything for free until the job itself. So are you ready to fix your sagging or bouncing floors once and for all? But of course, doing it right, don't just call a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. No, call Groundworks, okay? When you visit groundworks.com, you'll get that free inspection. They are still your local experts in basement waterproofing, which is why I'm telling you about the snow melting and all the rain that's approaching. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Get back to our texts and calls here momentarily about this dynasty conversation, whether or not they could be a dynasty, and then, of course, what your definition of it as well. But this weekend, not only was this weekend parade weekend for the Eagles, party weekend for the Eagles, because it continued on Saturday and Sunday. I saw Saquon parading around the streets over the weekend as well. There was a very strange Cooper DeJean situation.
Like, seriously, people, stop stalking people.
Yeah.
Stop stalking people.
Yeah, that was weird.
Where they live or where they are staying.
That was really weird. Did you see this, Connor?
I saw it.
Yeah, that was
weird. That's like criminal behavior.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be doing that.
It's strange.
Please don't do that, and I bet Dad's proud. Bet Dad's really proud.
I wouldn't go that far.
But we also had
when you're a dad, you can talk to me about it.
We also
you can tell me about it
had
if you'd be proud of it.
the NBA All-Star festivities this week.
Yes.
And what a way to grow your game. First, the skills competition with Wemby and Chris Paul purposely not shooting the basketball because they thought they found a loophole in the rules. Because if you watch the skills competition, you get the 3 shots to try to make it from 3, and as soon as you make one, you get to move on to the next area, the bounce pass or whatever. They just purposely threw the balls on the ground and missed as quickly as possible so that they could try to move faster. That's a way to grow your game. By the way, they got disqualified for those acts.
I like that.
I don't.
I thought it made that no one hears a word about that if something interesting doesn't happen in it. Like, I think the major issue is the baseline level is not entertaining enough, but I think what they did actually made a storyline out of something that nobody cares about.
Yeah, you know what the storyline was? Way to grow your game by doing this. It was not a positive storyline at all. And so then you had the game, in quotes, yesterday. So they did 3 different teams. They had 4 different teams. Thank you.
Okay.
They had the young stars, global stars, rising stars, and the OGs. Now, the OGs had Harden, Durant, Curry, Dame, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and LeBron.
Okay.
But LeBron opted to not play the day of the All-Star game because of a foot injury.
Very on brand for the NBA.
LeBron James load managed the All-Star game, but it was the day of, not last week. Like, if you opt out a week ago,
correct.
It's still annoying,
but there's no problem.
Whatever. He opts out the day of. And so, like, what do you the NBA just can't get out of their own way.
No, they can't.
To the point where they're opting out of the All-Star game the day of. Load management.
It's that they, I can't do this. I just, it's the sport has made themselves. The sport has made themselves the punchline.
Yeah.
They don't take. They're not a serious sport.
And then, by the way, like,
it's not a serious sport.
I liked trying to have the young guys in, but I liked the old version of just the rising stars versus rising stars. Shaq's OGs, that team that I just gave you,
yes,
played Dalton Connect, Zach Edey, like young guys they'll be in the league. But like, there was no contest in that one. I know it came down. There was a 7-point win, but like,
I get the theory of, like, you put the younger players out there with more to prove. Maybe they'll play hard against the legends. But it was another miss by them.
Yeah, the NBA just keeps on getting in their own way, and it's a shame because I remember when the All-Star game was great.
My gosh, it was great.
The Jordan Slam Dunk contest.
All-Star weekend was greght because they had a dunk contest where they weren't bringing guys who aren't even in the league.
And that's another thing.
It's so stupid.
Look,
it's so stupid.
Mac McClung has a career ahead of him even when he's done playing professional basketball. He can do these dunk contests anywhere. You know, remember the longest drive competitions? They're not PGA guys, a lot of them. They're just guys that can hit the ball very far. Mac McClung can do that the rest of his life.
And he was amazing.
Until he can't jump anymore.
Correct.
So he can't. If I'm a little kid, who's this Mac McClung guy? I want to get his jersey. And then you see that he's not even in the NBA. What is that doing for you?
Yeah, the league is not serious.
No.
And the commissioner doesn't force them to be serious. The load management, the biggest games, fans buying tickets to games and then being like, the greatest stars, they're healthy. They're just not playing tonight because they're tired.
That's why the NFL's king, man.
It doesn't. They don't get it.
That's why we talk about them 365 days a year.
The NFL also has a commissioner, though, who is in charge. Who's large and in charge.
Yeah, Adam Silver's letting a lot of the inmates run the asylum.
He lets it go.
All right, what do we have on the text line this morning, Connor?
All right, we have a lot of people checking in on that conversation about the dynasty. Luke from Toledo says, for us to be a dynasty, we need to get to the next 2 to 4 NFC championship games and or Super Bowls with one Super Bowl win within that period of time. Then that wild card loss from last year becomes some sort of anomaly in the grand scheme of things.
All right, so I just need to break this down. So 2 to 4
NFC championship games.
So is he counting the 2 that we already have?
I don't know.
Because we have to in the next, and I'm not considering them a dynasty yet. Let me make that clear. But if he's saying 2 to 4, then they've already had 2. Is he not counting 2 years ago?
We need to get to the next 2 to 4 NFC championship games.
The NFL, we can put this to bed. The NFL recognizes its dynasties. They officially recognize their dynasties on their official site. The Packers of the 60s, 5 titles, 1 loss in a 7-year period. 5 championships, 1 loss.
Yeah.
So they played for it 6 out of 7 times.
Not taking that away from him.
The 70 Steelers are recognized with 4 titles in 6 seasons, 4 Super Bowl championships in 6 seasons. The Patriots of 01 to 04 are recognized, 3 championships in 4 years. The Patriots of the 2010s are recognized, 3 championships in 5 years. The Dallas Cowboys of the 90s are recognized, 3 Super Bowl titles in 4 years. The 49ers are recognized with Joe Montana, that 3 Super Bowls in 6 seasons. The Chiefs are recognized 3 Super Bowls in 6 seasons. The NFL lists them. The common denominator is 3 Super Bowl titles to every one of them.
Now, I have a question.
The minimum.
I have a question.
They don't count any of the others.
I think this is a very fair question.
What's that?
But it goes against your argument. Now, again, let me make it clear. I'm not saying the Eagles are a dynasty yet. All right? Could is all I'm saying.
Or with 2 wins that they're a dynasty.
So the teams that you mentioned, the Packers of the 60s, Steelers of the 70s.
The teams that the NFL recognizes as their dynasties.
Could we potentially change it because of the salary cap, which began in 94? Does the salary cap era make it more difficult to become a dynasty?
Cowboys count.
Yes.
Both Patriots count.
And the Chiefs.
So and the Chiefs. So 4 of the 7 dynasties that they recognize have happened. The majority of dynasties they recognize have happened during the salary cap era. So no,
my
the rule
question
doesn't need to change.
Well, then I got to ask this: were they recognizing the Chiefs before they won their 3rd?
No,
I don't know.
That makes you make the dynasty with the 3rd championship. Every one of the dynasties has 3 minimum. This is ridiculous.
Were they not calling the Chiefs a dynasty before they won their 3rd?
No,
I'm legitimately asking. I got to go Google websites.
No, the NFL doesn't recognize. They recognize 3 as being, you got to win your 3rd, and it's got to be 3 and 4 is the minimum that they have recognized.
Maybe I don't agree with the NFL's definition.
Well, you want to change it because you want it to be you. You want to be invited into a club you're not deserving to be in.
I'm not in the club.
No.
I'm on the outside.
You want your team
I'm like the girl with the sign outside of Cooper DeJean's beach house.
I'm telling you.
That's me. I'm not in the club. All right, coming up next, we'll reset the topics. And also, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas right at 8 o'clock. Our man, Andrew DeCecco, is going to be joining us coming up at 8:10. We could talk real football stuff with him, not dynasty talk. We could talk about...
He'd roll his eyes at this.
We could talk about the offensive coordinator and how to replace Milton Williams. We could talk about that with Andrew DeCecco coming up at 8:10. We got a lot. Don't forget the meetings from the day before the Super Bowl as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Time to face the future. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Philadelphia Eagles gave Philadelphia a wonderful weekend. The parade was Friday. The celebration lasted throughout the day. For some people, it lasted throughout the weekend. It gave us a bunch of memorable moments, including Jalen Hurts thanking the fan base for all of our efforts this year.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year, all the passion, every ounce of it.
No, thank you, Jalen, for giving us our 2nd Lombardi in this city's history. But with the parade's conclusion, it's time to focus on the future, which is what's going on with the Eagles coaching staff. Well, we know Kellen Moore became the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, so the offensive coordinator position is open. But Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier is interviewed for the Saints OC job. Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker is interviewed for the Saints DC job. So if you lose 2 respected position coaches as well, that makes this offseason even more interesting. The Sixers are off till Thursday. Flyers off till Saturday. The Phillies will fully report to spring training today. Their first spring training game is this coming Saturday. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's president sale. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Restrictions apply. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Batalico.
The Eagles completely outclassed the Chiefs.
Talking about the Super Bowl champs.
I almost look at this as a passing of the torch. And you can say whatever you want. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, you won 2 in a row, Patrick. But guess what? That torch has just been lifted from you, and it's been placed in the hands of Jalen Hurts.
Hear Ricky with Tyrone Johnson on the best show ever. Weekday afternoons 2 to 6. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Glad you checked your calendar there, Mr. Salciunas, because you got an appointment today.
What calendar? You mean my text messages with my man Bill McHugh from Moyer Indoor Outdoor? He's coming over today at 1 o'clock.
Oh, so he's good. So what you're going to do is you're taking the first steps towards having a great lawn this spring and summer, and you could be just like Andrew by getting on this now with Moyer Indoor Outdoor, where they've been around for 150 years taking care of people's lawns, and also like they do for the Kincades, keeping the bugs out of the house.
Yeah, nobody really says they want to be just like Andrew, but when it comes to your yard, you might want to be, because I take a lot of care with my yard. The only problem is I can't figure out the science of keeping the grass green, right? There was times where the grass became yellow. I ripped it out. I put more seed down, but the green is a different shade of the other green. So I want one shade of green. I want all green. I don't want yellow. I don't want dirt. I just want green grass on my yard. And I know, just based off of seeing the photos that you've sent me of your house, that Moyer Indoor Outdoor will take care of it.
How about 100% satisfaction guarantee, too? How about a free assessment and estimate? Be like Andrew. I don't usually tell you to do that, but today, be like Andrew. Visit eMoyer.com. That's eMoyer.com because they're trusted by the Kincade and Salciunas.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renofi.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renofi, we can.
What's Renofi?
Renofi loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renofi, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renofi loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renofi?
Just send them a text.
Text TREND to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renofi. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word TREND to 323232 to get started today. Text TREND to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
I received a call one time, and the man said, "You probably won't call me back because I'm just a nobody." I immediately called him back. Nobody's a nobody. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I always wanted to be the lawyer who represented the little guy, the voiceless, the powerless.
I was rear-ended by a car probably doing about 50 or 55 miles an hour. My car caught on fire. I'm a paraplegic, so I couldn't get out of the car. They were struggling to get me out of the vehicle. After the accident, I gave Morgan & Morgan a call, and they understood what I was going through, and they were there to help me each step of the way. It made me feel that I had people behind my back to help me and resolve the case.
I represented him, and we did well because we get the chance to help people put their lives back together and to go on as best they can after a life-altering day. There's only one you, there's only one Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now, a 76ers update from 97.5 The Fanatic.
Well, the Sixers have reached the All-Star break, and they have not done it in the manner that they planned on ahead of the season. Not only do the Sixers have no representatives, but they're not in great standing in the standings. But maybe this break is exactly what the team needs. Health has been a major factor with Joel Embiid and Paul George, and they haven't had it. Could this break give them a a reset to maybe make a push. They're not too far outside of the play-in tournament standings. And while that's not the goal that the team or the fan base had heading into this season, you got to believe that with a roster heavy with veteran talent, their only expectation is to try and make a push for this thing. It'll be a tough start to the post-All-Star break schedules. They take on the Celtics on Thursday, but we'll see if there can be some renewed sense of focus for the Philadelphia 76ers coming out of the break.
Bet 365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet 365. Download the app today.
Coming up at 10, Mike Missanelli. This is Philadelphia Sports Talk with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 7:55 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. BZ Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We have today's headlines with Connor Thomas coming up at 8 o'clock. Johnny, on the names on the screen of the players that spoke the night before, we played Lane Johnson's and we played BG. Pick a name. And
my favorite one? Can I pick what one was my favorite?
Did you have?
Yeah, Jordan Mailata.
All right, so Jordan Mailata.
He was my favorite on parade day and the night before.
He had to sing, didn't he?
I loved it.
I know, I did
great.
too, but he had to be like, yeah, guys.
Loved it.
I'm really talented.
It got talented.
Let me make you all feel bad about yourselves. I'm a Super Bowl champion. I'm 6'8". I'm a millionaire. I can sing.
I like how
Thanks a lot, Jordan.
I like what Jordan had to say the night before.
We'll take a listen.
Hey, man. All we got is one more time. One more time to do the same shit that we've been doing all year round. I ain't got much to say, man. I'm not into that rah-rah shit. That's why I let Landon do that shit. Plus, half of you guys can't even fucking understand me. That's all we got, man. That's all we're guaranteed. One more time.
Love that.
I loved it. The simplicity of the
little
message.
Giants.
Like, look, we're
One
here.
time.
That's all you got to do.
That's
So
awesome.
we got one more time.
Great.
And when he sang on Friday, I noticed all of a sudden my wife, the eyes perked up.
I'm telling you. He did it on purpose.
He did.
Wouldn't you?
That was freaking awesome, too.
I would.
Hearing everybody sing it. That song always gets me. When my team wins a championship, it always gets me. So that was fantastic. Great job on his part.
Damn right. All right, let's play one more. How about the MVP?
Why not?
Jalen Hurts, the night before the Super Bowl, this was him addressing his teammates. And again, we know that he's a little bit different with his teammates than he is probably behind a podium. So let's take a listen to Jalen the night before.
Last time being here, this changed my life. It changed my life, and it changed my mentality, and it changed everything. Because for so long, I was seeking. What would I do when I got this moment again? What would I do when this opportunity met me again? On the biggest stage, everybody watched. And I didn't get benched. I put on a good show, and I couldn't have done that without you guys. But I left that motherfucker so empty. Doesn't matter but winning. And when you talk about team sports and you talk about everything that we've gone through, that's been the mission this whole motherfucking time. So, for all the hard work and everything that we've been able to do to this point, just take it one play at a time, let it come to you, and ask yourself how you want to be remembered.
I love that. And if you remember, one of the clips from the NFL films, Grant Calcaterra went up to Jalen. They were up 31-0. This was after the Devontae touchdown. So they're up 34-0 at this point now, right?
Correct.
And Grant goes, you can smile, right? And Jalen said, that last Super Bowl changed my soul. I am not smiling until the clock hits 0. And you know what? When the clock hit 0, he smiled, but he wants to go back to work. That Super Bowl may have awoken a sicko beast in Jalen Hurts. And thank God he's ours.
I'm glad, though, because the one thing that I was looking for was that I wanted to see Jalen, because after the Super Bowl, it didn't seem like he was having a ton of fun, that it was that Saban mentality of back to work.
Yeah.
I'm glad the smiles on him were evident on Friday.
Oh, they were.
And
Absolutely.
it was wonderful to see. And if he has a badass mentality about fighting for, I'm not taking that screensaver off, good for him.
Yeah.
If whatever drives you, use it.
Well, whoever's like the lead spokesperson for the Jordan brand, they were obviously asked, like, why is Jalen Hurts like one of your focal guys? And they straight up said, like, because he's finding every sort of reason to make himself more motivated, just the way Mike did.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sicko behavior sometimes you worry about it. You go,
Well,
dude,
like-
are you enjoying yourself at all? But if it benefits the Eagles, hey, have at it.
Jordan didn't even enjoy himself the night he was going in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
When he decided to rip the basketball coach that cut him in high school and embarrass the man publicly. He was a psycho.
Yeah.
Psycho about it.
Jalen might be too, for all we know, man.
Jalen knows how to. There's one thing he knows. He did know he was classy, and I loved what you pointed out earlier. I love the fact that he tossed some love the way of his head coach.
Yeah.
Because the two of them had to find a way. Had to find a way to create more of a, getting along.
And how many times did we point out when he had the opportunity to say something, he normally opted out?
Oh, he did.
But this time, on one of the grandest stages, Super Bowl 59 parade, he gave him a lot of love.
Nothing better than that.
Absolutely.
The sharing of the grace and all that at the biggest moment, that tells you a lot.
All right, it is time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
What do we got, Connor?
We got a lot of good stuff now. I know you guys already touched on NBA All-Star Weekend, but because we're talking about dynasties today, we have a dynasty in the NBA.
What do we got?
It is Mac McClung in the dunk competition. Here's what it sounded like, him dunking over a car this weekend.
Got to catch it first.
Oh my gosh. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Mac.
He said, I'm here. Wow. He said, I'm here.
Yeah. You know what we should do?
What?
We should just have McClung do 5 dunks, and then we
call it a wrap.
And we leave.
Call it a wrap.
Honestly,
That's
I'm
what
for
it's
that.
becoming now.
Yeah.
This event is lost.
By the way, I've seen the car before. Blake Griffin did the car.
Yeah, I got
but
you.
Kia paid what, $600,000 or something?
Yeah, I hope Mac got some
to
of
put
that.
the sponsor on it and to do.
But
he
Blake
got a
didn't
Kia.
go like reverse double hammer on it.
I think he got one.
Did he get
As
one?
part of
Okay.
it. Yeah. So
Look, I'm happy. Let me make this clear. I'm happy for Mac McClung that he gets this moment.
He's a great dunker.
It doesn't do anything for the NBA because it's not like
Correct.
he's then going out there next week and doing it for the Orlando Magic. No, he's doing it for their G League team.
Do you know who? You want to know the best thing? Every year Mac McClung wins or competes in the dunk competition, all the stars like tweet at each other after. They're like, "I'll do it if you do it." Ja was like, "Oh, I might dunk."
Every
Giannis
year,
was like, "I might dunk."
Every year, yep.
They're never going to.
No, they never.
shot.
They never do, and they should.
they should
It helps
because
grow the game.
yeah, the guys who allow them to make $40 and $50 million a year, the guys who pave the way for them,
Yeah.
they all participate.
By the way, Zach LaVine, a guy. Remember how great his dunks were with Aaron Gordon? That was probably 10 years ago now. Zach LaVine posted a video of him doing, trick dunks at the Bulls facility,
Right.
before he got traded. And so if you're doing that on your own time, why can't you do that at the slam dunk contest? You're not worried about your health at the practice facility.
Correct. Exactly.
But people claim, oh, I'm worried I'm going to get hurt trying to do something crazy at the All-Star game. Well, I'm watching you do it on your own time. I've seen LeBron do trick dunks
Absolutely.
in the summer.
It's such a poor excuse because what they want to do is they want to get paid for doing it.
It could still be a great event. It's not right now. So
What else we got?
What else we have is a little bit of a Phillies conundrum here. So you have a couple of guys. We haven't really talked about this too much, but reports came out this weekend. JT Realmuto and the Phillies, there's mutual interest on an extension. Kyle Schwarber wants an extension. Both of those guys heading into the final year. Nick Castellanos has 2 years left, but we know the year before the final year is trade bait danger.
Yeah.
So of those 3 guys, JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, you can give an extension to one. Who is it and why?
So I go Schwarber right away because he's still doing it with the power. And Castellanos, I've been one of Castellanos' biggest defenders in the city, but
You have been.
Schwarber's just until that power's gone, like 40 home runs is nice to have.
I am Schwarber first. JT last.
I love JT Realmuto. I'm not this idea that he might go play outfield.
No.
Dude, he was one of the best catchers in baseball because he was a great catcher.
And on bad knees? No.
Yeah,
No.
I worry about the JT longevity, and I'm a big JT fan. But
this would be a Ruben Amaro Jr. move at the end of the run
to keep everyone
where
together.
they're just, hey, let's just keep these guys here, name brands. Don't do it again. Don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
JT, one last run at it.
I don't get the outfield thing. Your outfield's already
We don't need, you know,
Well,
now
I get the outfield thing because they need to try something. Like Edmundo Sosa's working out in the outfield.
Yeah,
like they got to find some way to have some type of offense.
next year.
There were free
No,
agents.
I got you.
Right.
There were outfielders available. They just,
And JT's not playing outfield. He was just like asked by Rob Thompson.
Remember,
like, have
they're
you ever
rolling
thought
it
about
back. They're rolling it back. They feel comfortable.
By the way, do you have another story?
I had a replay, but we've already been on it.
All right.
Go for it, buddy. That's today's headlines.
One more baseball note. So college baseball started like this weekend, right? Indiana State played Wagner. They won 36-6. They put up 20 runs in the third inning.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good game.
Where was it?
They put up 10 in the fifth, by the way. I don't know where
Like
the game
down
was.
south,
I
they went
imagine
down to
somewhere
one of those
down south.
tournaments, yeah.
So here's the third inning. First batter got out. Strikeout.
Oh my gosh.
Double, walk, single, double, single, walk, single, wild pitch, walk. So it's not even like home run.
Oh my gosh.
Double, single, fielder's choice. But there was a throwing error, so they didn't record now.
Jeez.
Walk, single, hit by a pitch, walk, double, fielding error, and then back-to-back groundouts to end the inning. So just a couple doubles. There wasn't even a home run in a 20-run inning.
Yeah, you ready for the lesson there? Throw frickin' strikes,
That's
kids.
it, Connor, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Not that hard.
When you two have your pitching competition back behind the scenes
It's not a
here,
competition.
I always know that Connor steps in, immediately throws strikes.
Strikes on the same place as always been.
I waved Salciunas in from the bullpen and takes him a little time. He's going to put the leadoff man on. By the way, if you don't take the time, if you have not done it, ESPN.com, go read the Jonathan Martin story. Read it. Jonathan Martin, the guy from the Dolphins whose career ended.
Richie Incognito.
With Richie, and he is by the way, Jonathan Martin now is a student at Penn.
How about
he graduates in May. He's gotten into the Bitcoin thing, but it's an amazing long read.
Yeah.
You got to sit yourself down for it. But he clears Richie Incognito.
Yeah.
Not as not as a human being.
Right.
But he absolutely clears that he was not bullied.
Yeah.
And Richie Incognito got run out of the NFL because of it.
Richie Incognito was very active on social media yesterday.
And by the way, he should sue their asses. He should sue them all. Because Jonathan Martin clears him.
Yeah.
That it was his mom who pushed the narrative, and his mom was never there for any of the events. Now, it doesn't clear Richie Incognito as a human being.
No, yeah.
But it most certainly clears him as a bully.
Of this story, yeah.
And the guy had his career ruined because of it.
Yeah. And he was a 3-time Pro Bowler.
And he was a real jerk.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah.
But there are lots of them in pro locker rooms.
Right. All right, coming up next, you know who's not a jerk? Andrew DeCecco.
At times.
Wow. Not when two football guys are chit-chatting.
Oh,
Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up next. Also, the latest nonsense from the national media comes your way around 8:30. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
ESPN's Tim McManus on the best show ever.
It does, in a way, feel like the beginning, which is kind of crazy.
Until they begin the could become a dynasty
We're going to get
conversation.
plenty of summer, Connor, but 199 days to the Birds opener.
Dude, I want 500 days like I'm Joseph Gordon-Levitt, man.
Championship
Give me all the
Mondays on the Fanatic, presented to us by Pierce Phelps, Brian Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybrian.com. Love that movie, by the way. Great movie.
Never seen it.
Very just annoying at times.
I know what it is. I know who's in it, but I've
You've
never
seen the movie?
No, I'll get around to
It's
it.
well worth seeing.
Big Zooey Deschanel fan.
She's married to one of the Property Brothers.
I don't
See
know
that? You didn't know? You know the Property Brothers?
No.
Oh, yeah, I know those dudes.
Yeah, she's married to one of them.
What are they on
They're like two
HGTV?
twins
or
that
whatever?
flip
They're
houses.
the twins. They're the twins that do the houses. But she's married to one of them.
That's nice.
And she actually is part of the show that they got going on right now. She actually does the stuff with them.
Oh, how about that? You know who I'm sure is locked into those shows? Andrew
Oh,
DeCecco
no,
from
he's
Inside
not.
the Birds. Andrew, are you locked into the Property Brothers?
Honestly, I have no idea what that show is.
That's football guy Andrew DeCecco here on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Andrew, obviously Friday was a celebratory day for the Philadelphia Eagles, parade day. The city of Philadelphia was beautiful. I mean, look, you heard the speeches. I know you heard those speeches. It meant a lot for a lot of those players. What do you think Friday meant for Jalen Hurts, a guy who, after they won the Super Bowl, was already ready to start preparing for next year? But I knew Friday would probably be a moment for a lot of players that would look around and be like, oh, my God, this means something. Oh, my God, we accomplished something. Do you think Jalen Hurts had a little bit more of an appreciation for what was accomplished this past week?
Yeah, I do, Andrew, and I'm glad you asked that because that was something that really struck me as I'm watching the parade kind of go by. It's one thing to win the Super Bowl and celebrate it with your teammates, but when you see that float going down Broad Street and making that run, you're seeing almost 1.5 million, probably more than that. I think it really serves as validation for the work that you put in. And when you see Jalen Hurts sort of smile and nod his head and just kind of take in the moment, I think that really encapsulates the gravity of the moment for someone like him, because you have to go through it, I believe, to really be able to understand the magnitude of what you just accomplished.
I was thinking of a guy like Cooper DeJean, Andrew, whose hometown has less than 4-digit people, less than 1,000 people, and no traffic lights, only stop signs. I mean, for him to see that kind of mayhem and realize what he's now a part of, what he's now a fixture as a part of, these young guys realize this can be our career. This can be this city in adulation for us.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean, John, was one of the players, to your point, that you really were able to notice how much that day meant for him, because he obviously played a big part in it. But for a rookie, you don't know if you're going to get to experience that again. I think seeing a parade go down Broad Street like that, it makes you want more. It kind of keeps that hunger, knowing what's on the other end of the season if you're able to accomplish all your goals. So he kind of got an early taste of what it's like to be a champion in Philadelphia. And for him, we talk about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They are 22 and 23 years old, respectively, John, but they don't carry themselves like that at all.
Andrew, you're a big supporter of Christian Parker, who was the defensive backs coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He could be going to New Orleans with Kellen Moore. You are so inside Eagles football that you know that there's an impact there losing Christian Parker, and you've been very high on him. Can you speak on him?
Yeah, I think very highly of Christian Parker, guys, and he's a name that I've mentioned over these airways really back since April when I had a really nice chat with him at Rutgers Pro Day. But when you talk about a young coach, he's just 33 years old, so he really is able to relate to his players and find different motivational tactics, whether that's leaving a red gas can in front of Slay's locker that say how much gas do you have in your big play tank, to leave a microscope in the lockers of his safeties, kind of talk about keeping your vision high, or really just explaining the X's and O's and really being a hands-on coach. That would be a tremendous loss for the Eagles, but if you're Kellen Moore, you have to wonder, do you want to go with another young coach, or would someone like a Brandon Staley perhaps make a lot more sense?
Randomness in sports is a thing. And when I look at this 2024 Eagles team, I'm going to look at right around Thanksgiving when all of a sudden they turned on the spigot of turnovers, and then they were just coming in huge bunches. It seems like every single game. Is that random, that things just start coming together for you, or is it something that they did, do you think, in retrospect?
I think it's something that they did. It's something that they enforced. They practice turnovers. They practice the peanut punch that Charles Tillman punches. And it also, a lot of it has to do with Christian Parker. You can't talk to a single defensive back, John, without them mentioning a minute or two into the conversation CP and what he does for them, putting them in the right position, having them see things a lot faster, teaching the fundamentals and really honing in on that. So it doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by happenstance. A lot of that is a direct byproduct of the coaching and the players buying into that coaching.
How does Andrew DeCecco define a dynasty in the NFL?
3 years, I guess a three-peat. A three-peat to me would be...
It's got to be a three-peat?
3 championships.
No, but I'm saying like three and five.
Well, no, you can do 3 and 5, but 3 championships is where it begins.
That's hard.
Just look what the Patriots did. I think that is really the blueprint for what it means to be a dynasty. Do I think the Eagles have the pieces in place to do that? I do. Do I think there's still work to do to make sure that they keep the roster up to standard? Yeah, they're going to have to nail some of these draft picks and everything like that. But, yeah, I would imagine like 3 out of 5.
So what you're saying is the C word could.
Well, anything could. They could go 6-11 next year. They could do that too.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, injuries obviously play a factor in that. The Eagles have been really, really lucky in that part. The training staff's done a tremendous job, but there's so many different factors that obviously go into it. Nailing your draft picks, making sure you're getting returns on your free agent investments. The Eagles have pressed all the right buttons, but what I will say right now, the roster right now, as it's currently constituted, is set up for sustained success.
Are you now in mode of free agency mode, draft mode? What takes priority for you? Because free agency mode will come the 10th of March. So that comes before that, but you got combine mode coming up.
Yeah, so right now, today is the day where I officially turn the page, close the book on the 2024-25 Eagles season, and that's where I really start to hone in on my draft stuff, start to get ready for the combine. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of time for free agency, so I'll be doing my normal calls and check-ins on that. But, yeah, today is officially kicks off draft season. So I'll have a mock draft.
Oh, wow.
Mock draft already?
At some point. Yeah, at some point. Listen, I know you're a big mock draft guy, Andrew.
No, I'm anti-mock draft, but I'll read yours.
Yes.
You're the only mock draft that I will read. All right? Handshake agreement?
That sounds good. You know I'm going to give reasoning behind my
I know you will.
It won't be frivolous.
Yeah. Andrew, you're the man, brother. We appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you again down the road.
Thanks, guys. Sounds good.
There's our man, Andrew DeCecco on the Comcast Biz Hotline. Yeah, I'm so anti-mock draft.
Pro power rankings, anti-mock draft is weird.
That is weird.
Pro power ranking during a season that's happening. Mock draft, somebody putting together a mock draft, you should read Andrew DeCecco's because he'll actually give you reasoning.
Zach Bond.
But, like, mock drafts in February, like, you haven't talked to the teams yet. You don't know what they're interested in.
College player power rankings.
Zach Bond was a great free agent signing. I'm still going to say that Andrew DeCecco was the greatest acquisition for this radio station this past year.
Some may say that that's true.
Did a damn good job.
All right, coming up next, the latest nonsense from the national media. However, we got an Eagle fighting back. I love it. Hear it next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The aftermath of the parade. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a wild weekend here in Philadelphia celebrating the Super Bowl champion Eagles. The Parade Friday gave us a bunch of memorable moments, and Jalen Hurts took to the podium at the Art Museum steps to give out some thank yous. And that's not playing. Okay, well, he said thank you,
Nick. Thank you, Howie. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, fans.
He nailed it. That was Jalen Hurts there. With the parade's conclusion, though, comes the change of focus to what's next. Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier is interviewed for the Saints offensive coordinator job. Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker is interviewed for the Saints defensive coordinator job. Of course, the head coach down there in New Orleans is Kellen Moore, who was the Eagles offensive coordinator this past year. So the poaching of Eagles coaches, the attempts continue. Now, neither of those guys have been hired, but something to keep an eye on as the offseason continues. Sixers are off till Thursday, Flyers off till Saturday. Phillies fully reported to spring training today. Their first spring training game is going to be this coming Saturday. So we got baseball, not here in Philadelphia, but down in Clearwater. This update brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Bill Colarulo.
Once again, Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
The Fanatic. You know, my wife and I were hanging out yesterday, and she's like, wow, it's really nice that, I have you on a Sunday. Like a full day on a Sunday.
It's been a while.
So she and I did the math. Connor, ready to have your mind blown? So
I would love that.
Not only did we do 17 pregame shows, I think you missed one, right? You missed one pregame show for your
He was at his brother's wedding.
Yeah.
Selfish brother getting married in the fall.
So
that's okay.
17 pregame shows. You did 16. Plus the 4 in the playoffs because they didn't have the first round bye.
Yes.
So that's 21 for me, 20 for you. Plus, we did the 3 preseason games.
You did.
So
I only did 2. Contract dispute, remember?
Oh, that's right. So
you were in a contract dispute.
I was holding out.
So I was the only one that
I couldn't believe you said those things to Scott and got away with it.
Listen, man, I knew we had a Super Bowl caliber pregame show, so I wanted to get my word.
You were a little chesty.
All I know is I did 24 for 24. You did what? 22. And Bill did, I think, 23. He missed one because of the birth of his daughter.
Well, another selfish act.
So
having relations when you know it could result in something in football season.
Almost half of the year are weekends, which we love doing it, not complaining at all. But you realize, man, that's a lot. Could you imagine being a player, having to play every single week, the work in between?
The football players have it bad, but I can tell you from all my career, the baseball players have it the worst. They've got it the absolute
worst. The long season.
Because the long season and the every day having to deal with media.
Yeah.
Even the worst guy in the locker room, I mean, the worst guy that has the obligation, Jalen Hurts, has to deal with the media 3 days a week.
Yeah, you're right. Whereas baseball, it's every day.
Every freaking day, you got somebody with a microphone.
And imagine
in
if
your
you're
face.
on a bad team like the White Sox last year when they
And you're
won.
seeing the
they
same-
won what, like 30 games?
What they have to deal with, and look, cry me a river. They're making a fortune and everything like that. But the baseball season, they have no social lives.
Yeah.
Because
Cry for me, man. I went from the Birds Insider pregame show to having 2 days until pitchers and catchers report. Now it's locked on Phillies all
Damn
day,
right,
every
man.
day.
Locked on, baby.
We don't quit.
Next team up, not next man up. Next
Let's
team
go.
up. All right, national media struck again. They waited a whole week.
They did.
Let's start with this clip from our buddy Pete Prisco. We might have to revisit.
We'll get Pete on. What did he do now?
He did a
double down.
Who would you rather have as a quarterback?
Oh, jeez.
And it was Jalen Hurts versus everybody. So it was Jalen Hurts was the prime subject. And then would you rather have this quarterback or Jalen Hurts? Take a listen to Pete Prisco here.
To me, that's easy. That's Jaden Daniels. And that's no slight of
gosh.
Jalen Hurts. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be special. C.J. Stroud, based on the rookie season, I thought there were a lot of things working against him last year, but I'd still take C.J. Stroud.
Oh, my gosh.
I would take Justin Herbert. I'm big on Justin Herbert, but that's pretty close, to be honest with you. This one's really close. Can I call it even? How about that?
That was Trevor Lawrence,
I think
by the way.
Jalen Hurts has made big improvement. I thought
Trevor Lawrence he's even
went
with?
the wrong direction last year, so I'll call that even. I would take Jalen Hurts right now. I think Caleb Williams has a chance to move past him, but right now, the way Jalen Hurts is playing, I would take Jalen Hurts. I would take Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott's one of the more underappreciated players in the NFL. Let's not forget he led the NFL in touchdown passes 2 years ago. It's close, but I would take Baker Mayfield.
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
big on Baker Mayfield.
Stop
I thought
it.
he had a great year. And let's not forget, Baker Mayfield was pretty darn good with the Browns his rookie season, got hurt, and then kind of has rejuvenated his career. So I take Baker Mayfield.
Oh, my God. Wait. Are you sure when he did this? Did he do this last week?
This was I saw it over the weekend.
So he did it last week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm texting him right now. Tomorrow, can we get him on?
Sure.
If he's,
Sure, if he's interested.
yeah, no, he's going to be interested.
Jaden Daniels. Okay. C.J. Stroud.
Oh, my gosh. Stop it!
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert's the worst violation of all. He just had the worst statistical playoff game for a quarterback in 30 years.
No. He's not the worst. The next one's the worst.
Trevor Lawrence toss-up
Lawrence toss-up is terrible.
I don't even know how that must have been. I got to say something because there's nobody in their right mind taking Trevor Lawrence over a lot of starting quarterbacks right now, let alone the MVP of Super Bowl 59, who's now been in the Super Bowl twice in 3 years. I understand what a lot of people say. Any quarterback could play well in that system. Well, you know what? Jalen Hurts does it, and he does it well. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if he'd play well in this system. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know that Trevor Lawrence will play well in any system.
Right, he's been so far a bust.
He has been a bust so far, and he is somebody that I will raise my hand. I was one of the people thinking he was going to be Peyton Manning light coming into the league.
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd be Peyton Manning, but I thought he'd be Peyton Manning light. And I couldn't be more wrong. He's a freaking Miss Clairol commercial.
So, and he did give Hurts over Caleb Williams. We did go. We did have that victory.
I got to tell you, I'm so annoyed by that. I will see if Pete gets back to us. I've offered him a few times for tomorrow.
And Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott is another one. Stop it.
Yep.
Just stop it.
Yep.
Folks.
Told you the national media struck again. Didn't take all that long.
And it's guys who have had every opportunity to beat Patrick Mahomes. Like when I hear about it, Joe Burrow has actually beaten Patrick Mahomes. But then Jalen Hurts has actually beaten Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like every opportunity has been given for Bigfoot to beat Patrick Mahomes. He couldn't. And then you saw what Jalen Hurts managed to do. He chewed up that Chiefs defense that confused Josh Allen. Seriously.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And then, speaking of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, here was Emmanuel Acho toward the end of last week.
Oh, boy.
Talking about how the Cowboys are one offseason away from beating the Eagles.
The Cowboys are one Eagles offseason away from a Super Bowl. They are one Eagles offseason away.
That sounds easy.
They're running. No, it's not easy.
Sounds simple.
It's not simple.
No, it sounds simple, though.
It's not. Because you know how
let's take how he's done. It don't matter.
It's not easy at all.
Not.
But that is what they are. They're running back away. Eagles offseason. Saquon Barkley. They're linebacker away. Eagles offseason. Zach Bond. They're one offensive lineman away. Eagles offseason. Mekhi Becton. They're a number 2 wide receiver away. No Eagles offseason there. Obviously, they got Jahan Dotson, who contributed in the Super Bowl, but didn't do a ton during the course of the season. The Eagles are they're a defensive tackle away. Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter. The Eagles are one. The Cowboys are one Eagles offseason away from a Super Bowl.
Do you know how easy it is to say that? Okay, they're one linebacker away, Zach Bond. Yeah, they found Zach Bond, and he played like an all-pro. You can't just say, yeah, you have to acquire 6 all-pros.
And by the way, the Dallas Cowboys do draft well.
Yeah.
But
except for Mozzie Smith, who was the same draft as Jalen Carter, and look at the difference.
Can we stop with this? Gosh, I'm really unhappy.
But I love how he says they just got to do this, as if it's easy to find all-pro players.
Pete is checking his calendar. He's already back to me. He's checking his calendar, and if he can do it, we'll get him on and we'll get him locked down for tomorrow.
Now, I told you, an Eagle has fought back. So that clip that we just played you was tweeted out from the facility.
All right.
Nolan Smith responded yesterday since he sobered up a little bit. He was a little hungover, I imagine, Saturday.
Nolan was enjoying himself. Yes,
because this clip was Friday. Nolan Smith did not respond until yesterday. He responds to Emmanuel Acho. Bruh, you got to be the top 2 hates, and you're not number 2. It doesn't cost nothing to show love and say them boys did their thing. And then Emmanuel Acho took offense to it, Johnny. And he said to keep it offline.
Yeah, he said to keep it offline, brother. They have other guys have my phone number. You don't have to come at me with your stuff. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You rip this man's team every single day for your clickbait. And by the way, you didn't sniff success in the NFL. You didn't even sniff it. Unless you were in somebody's locker after their sweaty clothes going through them. And that's, hey, you do you if that was the case. I'm so pissed about that.
I just love to keep it offline.
I love keep it offline. And I responded to him on that and just said, hey, Emmanuel, you put everything on Front Street with this guy. He has every right to respond to you in public and to take you out at the knees.
Any Eagle, Philly, Sixer, Flyer that hears us be critical of them on the air has every right to call in.
Or to go on social media and say, John, you're a clown.
Yeah.
Andrew, that opinion is a clown opinion.
They have every right to do it.
They have every right to do it. We do it.
Because we do it on a daily basis.
They have every right to do it.
Complaining that he brought it to social media is ridiculous.
If we get taken out at the knees by an athlete in this town for a stupid opinion or otherwise, they have every right to do it, and they don't have to do it in private.
Well, hopefully one day, people like Pete Prisco and Emmanuel Acho won't have anything left to say, but they'll find something. I read something this morning on NBC Sports Philadelphia of the latest company that Nick Serianni put himself in.
Oh, wow.
Talk about amazing, Johnny.
I'm anxious to hear it.
You'll hear that next. We'll check the text line as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson.
Nick Serianni clearly had the guys on the razor's edge, ready to go out there, whether it was Jalen Hurts, whether it was Vic Fangio, and then, of course, the defensive front.
Talking about the Super Bowl 59 champion Eagles.
This should fundamentally change how we watch sports because you see what greatness looks like. You no longer have to worry about the what-ifs. If your team is this great, they're going to win.
Hear Tyrone with Ricky Vitalico on the best show ever. Weekday afternoons 2 to 6. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. A Flyers update from 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Flyers and the rest of the NHL are all off as the Four Nations face-off has taken center ice. It's a great opportunity to see some of the great players in the game play with and against other great players, including a couple of your Flyers. We know that John Tortorella is coaching, and for a season that has been up and down for the Flyers and still has a little bit of promise to it, it is a little bit of a break to say, hey, these are what some of the great players in our game look like right now. How do we become a team with more players like that can compete with teams led by some of the stars you'll see in the Four Nations face-off? And just like with the Sixers heading into the All-Star break, it's an opportunity for a bit of a reset for some of the Flyers players who won't be playing in the competition to get their legs under them and prepare for the final push of the season. We'll see what they have in store when they come back. Their next game will be Saturday, the 22nd, against the Edmonton Oilers.
Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today.
With the cold weather upon us, don't let your home improvement projects freeze up. Let our team of preferred pros keep your home warm, safe, and prepared to tackle the cold. From heating and plumbing to junk removal and repairs, our team of experts has you covered. Make this winter easier, one project at a time, with preferred pros.
Clogged drains, leaking sinks, no hot water? Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Schedule fast expert plumbing service at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
At Gerhard's Appliances, you can design your dream kitchen on any budget. Shop local and save big at Gerhard's. Find a local showroom or shop online at gerhardsappliance.com.
Keep the cold air out and the warmth in this winter with windows that are durable and energy efficient. Call Volpe Enterprises at 855-GO-VOLPE or visit online at govolpe.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQL.
ZQL, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQL nights. Explore our products at ZQL.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When breaking sports news happens in Philly, we have you covered. Live updates, press conferences, insight, perspective, and your reaction. This is 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincade and Salciunas. Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:40 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Championship Monday morning. Check our text line calls momentarily, but
I'm not
I told
hating
you.
the Championship Monday even still.
No.
I mean, it still brings back a smile.
Well, it should bring back a smile every single day. Honestly,
it's
I mean,
so
the Eagles
much
are
fun.
Super Bowl champions. We
So
get to
much
say
fun.
that for the next, what do you say, 199 days?
199 days. No, you get to say
plus,
it
until
until all next season.
Yeah, it's a good
until someone knocks him out, that's going to be the case.
Not even knocks them out. Someone else has to win it.
Yeah, it's
well,
true.
no, once they're knocked out, they can't be champs anymore.
What if they cancel the game and then the Eagles forever champs?
Yeah, what if
You
there's a
never know.
strike, just like Major League Baseball?
See, Connor, there
94.
it is. That's you.
You
Connor,
know?
that is you. That is you always finding the.
I got a chokehold on
that's
this
silver-
Lombardi. I'm
Damn
not
right
giving
you
it
do.
up.
That's silver lining.
All right, so Reuben Frank put together his list of observations.
He's had
from the
another
Super
great
Bowl.
week.
Oh, yeah, he's been spectacular.
Can't stand me, but he's very, very good at what he does.
The title, Rube's Eagles observations, the greatest pass of Jalen Hurts' life. He says the touchdown pass to Devontae was the best touchdown of his life.
It was amazing.
It was freaking spectacular. But one of the notes in here was about Nick Serianni.
Okay.
As he continues to put his... If you listen to the Mike Missanelli show with Billy Serianni,
yes,
you always hear the statistics that Bill gives about Nick. Only coach to do this. One of only 5 coaches to do that.
Sure.
Winning percentage, historic.
There's been a lot of crazy stuff with him.
Yes. So Nick Serianni, with winning the Super Bowl, was his 6th playoff victory as a head coach in the NFL. Of course, all with the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni is only the 2nd coach in history to win 6 playoff games in his first 4 seasons.
Who's the other one?
We mentioned his name earlier. Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs is awesome.
He won 6 with Washington from 1981 through 1984. So only Joe Gibbs and Nick Sirianni have won 6 playoff games in their first 4 seasons as the head coach. Tom Flores, John Fox, Mike Tomlin, Paul Brown, and George Seifert and Bill Parcells each won 5. But Sirianni and Joe Gibbs are in a class of their own.
Okay, that's incredible.
Winning 6 in their first 4 seasons.
That's incredible.
I mean, it really is amazing, especially considering what it was when he took over. I know a lot of people will say he took over a playoff roster, and he did. But you have to look at a context. The year before, there's a reason why there was a head coaching vacancy.
No, he took over a 4-11-1 team. I mean, they were bad.
Yeah, no, I know, but a lot of the players were similar.
But they're 4-11-1. Let's not make it that Sirianni was stepping into something that was a great situation.
No, he didn't step into a gold mine.
No, he stepped into a
I'm just saying there were a lot of talented players on the
gotcha.
team, but again, there's context. There's a reason why the head coaching position was available.
Yeah, he
because
stepped
it fell
into
apart.
a gold mine, but he had to dig for it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He had to find it.
They told him where the gold was, kind of.
Yeah, he said
They
X marks
gave
the
him an
spot.
area.
Here's a pickaxe. Go figure it out.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
did.
And he figured it out. He was
I like
tremendous. All right, what do we have on the text line, Connor, about any of our topics this morning?
All right, check in here. No name on this one, but they say, Happy Monday, boys. I ain't sweating this dynasty stuff. If the Eagles give us 2 or 3 more championships over, let's say, the next 10 years of Jalen's career, that's good enough for me.
I love it. That's good enough.
Yeah. I would
enough.
like a dynasty. I'm not demanding
No,
it.
we don't love a
we
dynasty.
don't like it. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to have one in this city for the only time in my life.
We would
That'd be
absolutely. We would. No, look, dude. Again, this is where you're going to lose people. I don't want to hear you whine about what you've seen in your life at all.
I'm not.
I don't want to hear you acting like you're put upon. You
Not.
have lived in the golden era.
Yeah, I've been the one that's been saying
You
it.
lived in the golden era. So
I got
what you're
ripped for 2 years ago saying that times are good in Philadelphia
You're
despite them not winning.
You're sounding like the fat girl in Willy Wonka. You just want more, want more, want more.
No, there wasn't
Whereas-
a fat girl. It was a fat boy. It was Augustus Gloob.
Oh, I thought the girl was. Oh, she was the greedy one.
Yeah, there was the greedy one.
I haven't
Come on,
seen
man.
it in a long time.
Augustus was the fat one that fell
Who
into
was
the
the one that
chocolate
went
river.
into? He fell in the chocolate river.
Yeah.
So he fell in the chocolate.
Violet was the gum.
Oh, yes. So she
Violet,
was the
you're
gum.
turning violet.
And then she turned.
I
Deco.
forget the other girl's name.
Hey, look,
She
whatever
was greedy
happens,
for money.
fat girl or fat boy, you're sounding greedy. And all I'm going to say to you is, God bless what we've got right now.
Absolutely.
And
I'm not
look,
sounding greedy. I'm just saying it would be nice to see a dynasty. That'd be
what
cool.
What I'm telling you is, you're sounding greedy.
I'll be greedy. I want more.
Yeah, like I
Look,
want.
everybody wants more.
See,
We're all in
see,
agreement.
This is the problem.
We're all in
week
agreement.
one,
we
they're
want
going to
more.
lose week one. You're going to be like, it's okay. Super
No,
Bowl
I'm not.
chance.
I'm telling you. But guess what? I absolutely implore you to hold me accountable.
I will, dude.
Do it, because I do not want to. I do not want to be that way. I do not want to be the fan that then says, "Oh, all standards go out the window because
Yeah,
I'm
it's all
happy."
good. They won a Super Bowl.
But I will
I
say,
want more,
But I
man.
will say this: when the ball went through Alshon Jeffrey's hands in New Orleans, and they lost,
Yes.
I thought they were on such a gift appearance anyway because of the double doink. That I was like, that it sucked.
If they, I swear they're back in the Super Bowl if they win that game.
I would agree.
Dougie P owned Sean McVay.
I would agree that it would sort of seem that that's the way it would look.
I think they're back in the Super Bowl if Alshon just catches that damn pass. And I love Alshon. No love lost. Great. He had a great tenure and they won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But you got to catch that ball, man.
Gotta
It's
catch that
very
ball.
disappointing.
Gotta
All right,
catch
what
it.
else do we have on the text line?
All right, we have a check in here from Kevin from Idaho who says, I agree with John on this because by this logic on dynasties, if San Fran, God forbid, wins the Super Bowl next year, we could consider them the next dynasty. No way. Let's enjoy this one and discuss it after one more.
They've never won a Super Bowl.
If they won next year, he said.
Yeah, and they haven't won one
No, but
yet.
he says if they won next year, you could do that. You could do it. It's like you have to win, as Andrew said to you, you got to win 3. You got to win 3.
No, but the difference between the Eagles and 49ers thing, the Eagles just won. So if
I
the
understand.
Eagles win.
Okay, well, then when we get to 2, can we talk about winning 3? Not talk about 3 when we've only won 1.
Why stop there?
Because it's
4.
Let's talk about what we got to do. What do we got to do to win 2? And what we have to do, it's monumental, as you learned. 23 Super Bowl winners this century, and 2 of them managed to go back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot to it. And
There's a lot to it.
One of the things that we're going to get into coming up next, Connor, have the Jalen audio from Locker Room Cleanout Day ready from last Friday. We touched on it on Parade Day, but Parade Day was a party, right? We weren't really diving deep into OC conversations, but the Eagles need a new offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore is now the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So coming up next, Jalen Hurts was asked about, I guess, his opinion on the OC job, and Kevin Patullo's name obviously was brought up in the questioning because Kevin Patullo, there's a lot of people who are pointing to him as the next OC of the Philadelphia Eagles. I would rather have somebody that's done it before. So, what about Jalen Hurts? Hurts was asked about it. You'll hear it coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas on Championship Monday, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
What's next for the Birds? I'm Connor Thomas, and as we stand in the wake of the parade and the weekend that was a wonderful celebration for the city of Philadelphia, we start to think about what's next for the Philadelphia Eagles. Before we do that, let's just give a moment to remember that beautiful day on Friday when the Eagles paraded up Broad Street as champions of the football world. Jalen Hurts talked about thanks he has to give to the fan base.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year, all the passion, every ounce of it.
It's a beautiful way to wrap up what was an incredible season, but now we have to start looking at the coaching staff. As Kellen Moore has taken off for New Orleans, he is the head coach of the Saints, so the Eagles have an offensive coordinator position open. Also, Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier and Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker have interviewed for respective coordinator jobs down in New Orleans. Nussmeier for the OC job, Parker for the DC job. Now, neither of them hired yet, but clearly there is a lot of attention being put on some Eagles assistant coaches as well for higher positions. There's a lot that the Birds will have to do this offseason to make sure they stay in good shape. The Sixers are off till Thursday, Flyers off till Saturday. The Phillies fully report to spring training today. Their first spring training game is also this Saturday. This update's brought to you by True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRUgreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Vacation? Business trip? Don't worry. You can still hear all your favorite Fanatic shows no matter where you go. The 97.5 The Fanatic app. Philly sports in the palm of your hand. Listen to our 24/7 live stream. Get up to the minute Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, and Union commentary.
Head to Google Play or the Apple App Store now and download our free app.
A lot of people after a 4-day weekend tomorrow morning are going to need a hot shower in order to get their day started. And if they have a Bradford White water heater, I'm not worried that they're going to be able to answer that bell because the Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best. Super reliable. And if you live in a home where, let's say you've been in it for 8-10 years and you didn't put the water heater in, that means that thing might be ready to crap out, which is going to be a problem for you. And it might mean that you're wasting too much money on heating your water because it's not energy efficient. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best, and their Infinity Series tankless models are amazing. Endless hot water, on demand, energy efficient. You may just want a more traditional water heater, but just updated with the latest technology. 25 gallons, 50 gallons, 75 gallons. Whatever it is, Bradford White's got it for you. Go to BradfordWhite.com to find an installation pro near you, and then get them to bring one over because you're not going to find them in big box stores. I tell you this all the time. How you heat your water, it does matter. Choose a local company. Choose a great company. Choose Bradford White.
Texting
Advertising privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renofy.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renify, we can.
What's Renify?
Renify loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renify, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renify loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renify?
Just send them a text.
Text TREND to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renify. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word TREND to 323232 to get started today. Text TREND to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Fanatic fan favorites.
Every year, millions of people are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming, but if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. They'll remove the stress and work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyer. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
Fanatic fan favorites on 97.5. The Fanatic.
Catch all your Sixers action at the Union Tap on Conley Road in Northeast Philly and enjoy $4.50 Corona and Corona Light bottles. The Union Tap is a warm tavern serving burgers, pizza, and other hearty comfort eats. Find them on social at the Union Tap.
Wherever you are, the Kincade and Salciunas show is accessible. Did you know you can watch the show on YouTube right now?
You can listen to the show anywhere via 975thefanatic.com.
If you missed a show, then listen to the on-demand podcast or watch on YouTube.
And of course, we are live weekday mornings 6 to 10 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:55 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this championship Monday morning. So yesterday, no football. So what did you do yesterday? I went to the Temple game. I told you that was planned months ago, though. Did you do anything?
We did our Valentine's Day dinner.
Okay, that's right.
We went to shopping. We're going away in a couple weeks. They said to wear those swim shoes. I don't have swim shoes. They say in the ocean, you want to wear because it's very jaggedy with shells. Yeah. I've never worn anything in the ocean in my life.
I don't.
Not even a bathing suit?
Here they tell you to. Yeah, that's another one. Here they tell you absolutely to do it.
Okay, so you were in the market for swim shoes?
Swim shoes, which look stupid, and I don't want to wear them.
Or you just swim. You don't put your feet on the ground.
How would you get started?
Dive in.
Dive right in, baby.
You can float.
You're not diving into it deep enough. You got to get out for it.
Connor Thomas, what was the life of Connor Thomas on the first Sunday without football?
Well, for you, Birds Insider pregame show coming to an end for the season might mean weekends free. But for me, I was back on air yesterday. So I was on from 11 to 2, chatting a little bit about what's next for the Birds. And then I just kind of took it easy. I watched a couple TV shows, which I haven't had a chance to do. I just watched some stand-up specials was really it. I don't want to get into a full series, but yeah, now I have a little screen time available. Played some Pokemon.
Cobra Kai just dropped again. I'm gonna have to take care.
I have not watched it. I'm
going
to tell Sean Kanan that I have not watched.
I'm gonna dive in at some point this week. All right, so
wax on, wax off, still a thing?
Kind of. They don't mention it as much. Mr. Miyagi's no longer with us. in real,
I understand
in real
Pat
life.
Morita died. He was on TV when I was in grade school. I figured he's dead.
So last week was locker cleanout day before the Friday festivities. That was the parade. And, it was their last chance for a lot of the media members to ask a lot of questions for the sober Eagles, because obviously whatever questions were asked Friday, there's a lot of liquid courage involved in some of those answers. Again, shout out to James Bradbury for getting in between the camera and Quinyon Mitchell, because who knows what would have been said. So Jalen Hurts was asked about the vacant OC job. And look, it really is amazing. How many OCs has he now had since high school?
9?
Something like that,
Something
right?
like that,
I mean,
I think it was.
Unbelievable that
been a lot.
keeps on happening. And remember, no first-year OC stuff. They won a Super Bowl in year one of Kellen Moore. That goes out the window.
Not necessarily.
That debate, bye-bye. That
No.
debate goes out the window.
What do you mean?
Unless, like the whole, of course they didn't play well. They had a new OC. Well, they had a new OC this year.
One
They
data
won the
point
damn
does
Super
not
Bowl.
invalidate the conversation.
Unless they hire another guy that has no previous play calling experience. And obviously, Kevin Patullo is Nick Sirianni's guy, much like Mike Rowe was Doug Peterson's guy.
Much like Brian Johnson was Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's guy.
I'll keep on saying this. They at least anticipate that he'd be calling plays one day. I don't know what Kevin Patullo's goals are. I don't know.
Has another organization tried to poach Kevin Patullo?
No, nobody has.
Answer is no.
And so
that is another thing that says to me, no.
So Jalen Hurts was asked about the new OC position, and of course Kevin Patullo as well. Take a listen to Jalen Hurts' is not so much a ringing endorsement.
Kevin Patullo's never been he'd have a different role. So it's hard to compare, that role to this role, because his job is going to demand something totally different of him. And I have a lot of confidence in him and what he's shown. However, I know, over the years I've learned that's out of my jurisdiction. And so kind of just taking things as they come and trying to go out there and be the best I can be and just learn and evolve.
He kind of sandwiched in the middle there, I have confidence in Kevin. But it started off with he's never done it. It's a totally different role. It's a difficult role. And I've said this to you guys a million times. You could be the brightest football mind. You could come up with the best ideas, best plays. But knowing when to call them is a totally different beast. And you saw Brian Johnson struggle with that last year.
And the big key is, 2 creams, 1 sugar has a very important job getting Dan Quinn's coffee. It's anticipation. It's not only knowing what call to make at the time. It's anticipating 2 calls out.
Right.
3 calls out. And that's what a rookie guy is not equipped to do. He's got to learn under fire. If he's never called them before, even if he's done them in college, he hasn't done them at the pro level. I can't. Kevin Patullo cannot be the answer. Cannot be the answer they come up with.
Should not be the answer.
It's 0 for 2, and it's bad. And by the way, Kevin Patullo would be honestly the worst qualified of the guys that would ascend to the offensive coordinator job that has followed the 17 Super Bowl, the 22 Super Bowl, then this one. He would be the least qualified of the guys.
I got you. I'm not
Step
saying
up
like
there.
he's the guy that I want. But the other thing that I want to get out in front with, because I kind of interpreted that Jalen Hurts cut a different way than like not a ringing endorsement. I think that was I had to deal with a year worth of my ass getting burned because of this Brian Johnson situation. So I'm just going to say, I don't know, and it's outside of my jurisdiction. Like, I think that was more Jalen Hurts saying, like, I don't want to put my stamp on anybody because the last time a guy got tied to me and didn't perform, I wore part of that, and I don't want to wear unnecessary criticism.
You don't think it seemed like he was trying to give an opinion on it?
If I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm giving an opinion.
He gave an opinion on it. I think he absolutely gave an opinion there.
What was the opinion?
That, no.
It would be hard.
It would be hard.
Well,
If Kevin Patullo gets that job,
Hang
it's
on.
going to be really hard.
All he said was he hasn't done this before, so it would be a different situation. I
Yeah, but
have
you know
confidence
he's
in him.
not going to come right out and say yes or no.
He's
so
not gonna say
it's-
the guy's a
exactly. So
bum.
I get it. It depends on how we read it. I'm with John. I read it more as yeah.
Now, let's not do this again.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, I'm looking at his just career and coaching. He's never done it.
He's never done it.
Like, he never even called plays in college.
The only reason he would be getting this job is Nick Sirianni promotes him
Yes.
because he's his boy.
Yeah, I just think the important part of that Hurts cut is I've learned it's outside of my jurisdiction. I think that is the absolute arrow pointing towards last time when Brian Johnson got hired because of our relationship. I wore a lot of that. I don't want to do that this time around, positively or negatively. So whatever the organization does,
I'm just gonna stay out of it.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad place to be. He's proven he can win
I
regardless.
do believe he should have say though. Now, did that hurt them the last time with Brian Johnson?
Yes,
that's another conversation.
It killed them.
It's got to be a collaborative effort where there's no sides being taken because of personal relationships.
Yeah,
Hurts had the personal relationship with Brian Johnson, and as you mentioned, Serianni and Patullo have been together since 2018 in Indianapolis, so they go way back. So this decision should not have anything to do with personal feelings.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
This can't happen. You can't turn, again, you don't take your 16-year-old who just got his license and say, sure, you take out the new $110,000 Range Rover. Go, kid. Have a great time tonight with you and your friends. You don't do that. It's dumb.
Okay, so
and
let's
it's dumb for a reason.
No, listen, I totally get you. And I have other people that I like ahead of Kevin Patullo for this job for those reasons. But let's just do a preliminary. Like, who's the guy that you want? Do you have someone in mind?
Has to have had experience.
Yeah, that's a starting point.
Has to have had experience. So I want somebody. If I could have somebody, anybody, if I could have somebody like a coach that maybe, let's see, has been a head coach in the NFL, has been an offensive coordinator
because we like the adults in the room.
Like
so
maybe,
Frank Reich.
Yes.
Yeah, Frank
I'd
Reich's
be fine
one of
with
them.
Frank Reich.
Jim Caldwell's another guy.
No, Jim Caldwell, please.
Why is that?
Nah, feels like too much of a retread. Like, I don't know. I'd rather, like, Frank Reich's been a couple places. I feel like Jim Caldwell's just, like, the guy I want is Mike LaFleur.
Okay.
And he's the OC for the Rams right now. But the problem with him is he's the OC for the Rams under Sean McVay, who calls all the plays.
And you're not getting LaFleur unless Stafford goes. If Stafford goes, you could get LaFleur.
Why would that be? Are they, like, tied?
They're tied.
Okay.
They're tied. They're not going to be – Matt Stafford is going to want – if he's staying there, he's going to want LaFleur.
Well, Matt Stafford can poop in one hand and want in the other and see which one fills up first.
No,
that's an old my dad expression.
That is a
Super Bowl champions with a chance for you to advance your career.
Say this, you have that McVay theory.
Why? I do have a theory.
Why wouldn't
that if Matt Stafford is out, that Sean McVay goes to TV?
Yeah, but then LaFleur could, for all we know, could be promoted to head coach.
I don't think it's
this
happening.
late. I don't think it's happening this late.
I don't think it's happening.
You would think they would have made that.
Right.
He would have made that decision on behalf of his team, have made that decision.
Well, it appears he's trying to work his way out of town. Stafford wants to get out. It appears.
Stafford. Okay.
So Stafford's trying to.
What is McVay upset about?
And as far as that, what do you mean? As far
if
as
you're
wanting
Sean
out?
McVay, why do you want out?
No, if you're Sean McVay,
he's just
I think
doesn't
he'd like
want
to
to
do some TV.
Yeah,
he has a young baby and new wife. So he's very family oriented.
Yeah, easier job, less time commitment. Why would he possibly want that?
And then go back when he's 47
and do it again,
or 46 after his kids raised.
Or never go back and you have all this money. Yeah, exactly. You have all this money to play with.
He's done with Nick Serianni. He's won a Super Bowl. He's lost a Super Bowl. He's been to another NFC title game. I mean, he's done a lot, and he's made a ton of money.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. All right, what do we have on the text line, Connor, on any of our topics today at 610-632-0975?
All right, so someone's bringing up the Jalen Hurts playing well in a system conversation, which was part of what was talked about by Pete Prisco and Emmanuel Acho. Play well in what system? It's been a new system every year for the last 4 years, and Jalen has thrived every year. It ain't the system, it's the quarterback.
It hasn't been a new system.
It
was not a new system this year.
It's the same idea.
That was the same system. There were
differences.
But play call, terminology's
but
different.
they kept things. They kept like 75% of the old offense. They didn't go that
well, and so that's the next debate that people have. Anybody could play with those weapons, and I go back to the same thing. Name me the bad Super Bowl team.
What do you mean?
Like people take away from Jalen Hurts because of the players he has around him. Name me the bad Super Bowl team that had
New York Giants when they played the Patriots the second time.
Yeah, but their defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that team overall wasn't. I don't think the 2017 Eagles.
Yeah, but Alshon
are
was
going down as like a great team.
No, but they were a number one wide receiver. He had what I'm trying to make the point is, they say like, oh, Jalen's got it so easy with the players around him. Name me the Super Bowl team that did not have players around him, other than Tom Brady, who was, again, the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Sure.
We how many times we mentioned Steve Young and Jerry Rice? They're the greatest.
They always have great components.
Yeah. So I don't know why
Eagles
that's
have
an
great
argument.
Components on both sides, though, which does make it a
Yeah, but
hell
I'm
of a lot
talking
easier.
strictly Jalen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen does have it easy. So does almost every Super Bowl champion ever. Travis Kelce's one of the greatest tight ends ever. And we act like Patrick Mahomes throws to nobody. Tom Brady did still have Gronk. Let's not act like he didn't have anybody around them. All right. Coming up next, we'll play some more of those clips from behind the scenes. The players that spoke the night before Super Bowl 59. You'll hear those coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli.
The best Philly sports victory of all time.
Talking about the Super Bowl 59 champion Eagles.
Here we go.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Championship Monday morning, presented to us by Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit NoPayBryant.com.
I find it funny. I like it.
Good to see Ray Dunn. Ray Dunn decided to come back from his favorite place on earth, which is New Orleans. He was down there for Temple women's basketball. They won.
The week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like the aftermath. The week before, a week or so before Mardi Gras, which is when it really gets wild.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised.
Mardi Gras gets so wild.
I was surprised that Ray came back.
Even wanted to come back.
Yeah.
They have a sports radio station down there.
He does.
I was on it twice last week, like in week before Super Bowl, week after.
Dude, I was on Green Bay radio again.
What?
Why? They had me call in on Friday to talk about the parade.
Did they really?
I felt bad for the audience. I was like, what?
Like, why are you talking about the parade?
I don't want to.
I
said,
You
yeah.
guys are big time. This is what happens when you win.
I said, yeah, sure. I'll promote the brand, Kincade Salciunas,
Green
right?
Bay, though?
But I didn't understand. Could you imagine if,
like
what was last year?
Carolina wins.
Or last year. Last year was what? San Fran and Kansas City.
Yes.
We had a Kansas City host on to talk about the fun day at the parade, right? Like, I would think listeners would come to the doors.
Would not be happy.
And would be telling us to get off the air.
Okay, now you've said you have not done Green Bay. You have done, Connor, you have not done Green Bay.
I have done somewhere in Wisconsin. I've done Milwaukee before.
No. Have you been?
Oh, not Guam.
Been, yeah.
It's either Genoa City or you go to there.
Yeah.
And it's great in Milwaukee and everything. I can tell you, Green Bay, it is wild that the road, one of the roads on the side of each side of the stadium is a lane, and a suicide lane. In the middle with a shoulder. Like, that's how residential it is.
Yeah, it's just homes,
There are homes that are like these Cape Cods from like the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah.
That are a block to Lambeau Field. It's bizarre. It's the most bizarre pro football stadium ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't build a highway if my team was relying on Jordan Love either.
Yeah,
it's an amazing experience to go see it.
Told you I'd love to go see it.
And I saw
in the cold.
I saw a playoff game in the snow.
Yeah, see, I would, and it adds
And
to
Michael
the
Vick
experience.
went nuts that night and beat the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre in the snow where you couldn't beat them in Lambeau. And he did it. Good job, Mike.
Connor will watch that game from the Caribbean. All right, let's play a couple more clips from the night before. I think this one was an important one. The Kobe Dean. I love how involved he remained with the Eagles despite being done for the season. We saw the FaceTiming. One of the assistant coaches FaceTimed Kobe Dean after they won the NFC Championship game on the field. Like, Serianni had yet to leave the field after the Eagles beat the Commanders. Here was Kobe Dean the night before the Super Bowl addressing the team.
I just want to start by saying, man, I love y'all, man. I love y'all, man. You know, I'd give anything to be out there with y'all this Sunday, but I'm so proud of this team and everything we have gone through, how resilient we are, the way we able to not only push through things, but thrive through them all. And, you know, like I said, I love y'all. Yeah, let's go get it.
I love that. Look, and remember, Carson Wentz was like literally upset that his team was winning. So Kobe Dean, a little bit of a better teammate than him. How about another linebacker, Zach Bond, as his story continues to get better and better, considering nobody knew who he was when the Eagles first signed him. Here was Zach Bond the night before the Super Bowl.
It's been a long-ass week, but a busy week, but we got a lot of downtime, so use my downtime kind of reflecting on when I first got here. And I took it upon myself to really dive into the team, to really embrace you guys and let you guys bring me in. So I just appreciate that. I love y'all. And we play our best ball when we're together, so let's fly around, communicate, and do what we do.
Love that.
Okay.
Zach Bond's story's been amazing.
Zach Bond, there's so much to like about Zach Bond. There is so much, though, to talk about, a change in philosophy that we'll get into in the course of this offseason about what do you do? Do you commit large money to a linebacker? It would be a huge change in philosophy.
Oh, definitely would be. And I'm all for it.
They passed on numerous opportunities, and unless that's where Andrew Pacheco is really going to come in helpful.
Yes.
Because when we find out what this defensive tackle draft looks like, then you say to yourself, we can find the next Milton Williams.
Defensive line, it's stacked.
That's the big one.
And that is And I'm sure that he's going to give us some name like Jalix Hunt. Remember last year? He told us about Jalix Hunt.
He did. Houston Christian.
We're like, who the hell's Jalix Hunt? We know who he is now.
Yeah, absolutely we do.
We know he is now.
All right, let's play one more for you, this segment at least. How about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
Oh, jeez.
Who, look, they missed him 2 seasons ago. They clearly did. And it was good to have that mentality back in the locker room. Here was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson the night before Super Bowl 59.
It's emotional to be here. Fuck all this shit. You don't win. They legacy, bro. Simple. Bro, y'all been through a lot of shit, bro. A lot of shit. We ain't gotta say shit when we win it, because our story gonna tell itself, bro. I get emotional because I know we all winners, bro. Why not have a chance to express that on the biggest stage of them all?
I love the church organ in the background, man. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's getting emotional the night before the Super Bowl. Not as much as Jason Kelsey a couple of years ago. But that's good, dude. I love this team. This team's awesome.
This team's great. There's so many things to root for this team, which is great.
And they won the Super Bowl, which just adds to the incredible nature that is the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2024-25 Philadelphia Eagles.
Great story, man.
Now, speaking of stories, you sent an interesting topic that we'll get into coming up next.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Connor, I don't know if you did your homework assignment or not.
I always don't do my homework.
Goes back. Well, you got time.
Yeah, it's like the 5 minute when the teacher is going, all right, homework assignments, and you're quickly doing
That's
it.
why you sit in the back corner, wait for them to get to you.
Smart man.
Mademoiselle McCarthy caught me doing that in French quite a few times.
So as we continue to celebrate the Super Bowl champion Eagles, John has a list of the 5 most unlikeliest storylines going into the 2024 season that happened, right?
Yes. When we look back in the 2024 season, these were the 5, to me, most unlikely storylines that we ever would have been seeing or believing could be true.
And you want to see if we have any overlap?
I want to see if you have any of them overlapping.
All right, well, Connor and I are going to do our homework assignment coming up next.
Get to work, both of you.
Like you, Connor, I sat in the back as well. You got a couple extra minutes left to do your homework assignments.
All the time I need, baby.
So we go through that coming up next. It is Kincade Salciunas. And if there's any that we miss, send them in on the text line, 610-632-0975, here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A great weekend of celebrating. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a fun weekend here in Philadelphia celebrating the Super Bowl champion Eagles. The parade Friday gave us a number of memorable moments, and Jalen Hurts took time to thank the fans during his parade speech.
On behalf of my teammates and myself, we want to thank you. Thank you for all of your support this year, all the passion, every ounce of it.
It was a beautiful bookend to the season that was, but now it's time to turn our attention to what's next for the Birds. With the parade's conclusion comes a change of focus on the coaching staff. Kellen Moore heads down to New Orleans to become the next head coach of the Saints, and he's trying to take some guys with him. Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier is interviewed for the Saints OC job. Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker is interviewed for the Saints defensive coordinator job. We'll see if either of those guys are hired. If so, it's another position or two that the Eagles will have to fill. Sixers are off till Thursday. Flyers off till Saturday as NBA All-Star Weekend and the NHL Four Nations face-off are ongoing. The Phillies fully reported to spring training today. Their first spring training game is this coming Saturday. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the 76ers and Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel.
Watch the live stream of Kincade and Salciunas, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the Mike Missanelli Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Go to youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia and subscribe today to be part of the action.
Home Field Advantage is brought to you by Bradford White, because how you heat your water, it matters. Did Philly make everybody proud with an amazing display of fan support on our home turf? Yes, we did take over New Orleans, but taking over Broad Street and the Art Museum area, there's nothing better. Think of free agents looking at this city, celebrating this title, and imagine you made an impact on luring them to your hometown. Because this is Philly, where home field advantage is not just tradition, it's what we live for. Let the games heat up at home, and let Bradford White heat up your home.
Homeowners, improve your family's comfort with a Bradford White water heater and enjoy all the hot water your household needs. All day, every day. With Bradford White, you get more than just a water heater. You get our commitment to quality and reliability that you can trust. How you heat your water matters, so don't compromise when it comes to your home or your hot water. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best because your home deserves it. Visit BradfordWhite.com to learn more and find an installation pro near you.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise, if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with MyLowe's Rewards. Earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania.
Fanatic Fan Vaping.
Every year, millions of people are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming, but if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. They'll remove the stress and work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
Fanatic Fan Favorites on 97.5. The Fanatic. Wherever you are, we are. Online at 975thefanatic.com, on the Fanatic app, and on air. Keeping you informed on your favorite sports teams with insider perspective you need to hear. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 975thefanatic.com. Coming up at 10, Mike Missanelli. This is Philadelphia Sports Talk with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it is 9:25 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. And we had a homework assignment.
And if everybody put your pens down.
Well, I got to jot down like one more.
What do you mean you got to jot down one more?
I got to jot down like one more.
He's too busy catching up with Ray over doing his homework for the show.
Yes. Oh, man. Homework's a day. Friendship lasts forever. That was a good line. Anyone?
No.
Anyone? All right. So you have your 5 most unlikely storylines of 2024. If you can explain to the people.
I ranked them 5 to 1.
Okay.
From the most being 1. The most unlikely story for the Eagles of being a Super Bowl champion based on things that happened during the 2024 season. And it can include last year's offseason, too. So I listed them from 5 to 1. 5, to me, was finding arguably the best linebacker performance in the NFC off of the Saints scrap heap.
Oh, I put that at number 1.
That was easily 1 for me.
You put that 1. Okay.
Numero uno.
Okay. I'm going to give you my next 4 and see if you think any of them beat them.
Okay.
I think, unlike it, this is the whole storyline of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
I said number 4. The Eagles having 21 of their 22 starters available in Super Bowl 59, which, by the way, is only second to the Eagles having 22 of 22 available.
And that's
in
why
Super Bowl
I didn't
57.
write it down, because I've seen it happen with the Eagles
And you know
already.
what it is? Those two things happening, 21 of 22. Do you know how many times that's happened this century? 4.
Wow.
4. 21 of 22 has happened 4 times of Super Bowl champions out of 23. And the Eagles have two of them, even though they didn't win one of the championships.
Yeah.
They've gotten to that game once. Number 3, to me, was drafting 2 defensive players in the top 40 picks and having them both be a finalist for Defensive Rookie of the Year, which, by the way, has never happened.
So
Has never happened.
I put Eagles rookie dominance.
Okay, well, that's sort of the same
Because
storyline.
Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and then in his role, Jalix Hunt was very good. Obviously, Jalix Hunt was not an every down player like Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, but since when do we see the Eagles' first 3 draft picks all be, home, like grand slams?
No team has had 2 be finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
That's amazing.
On the same side of the it's Defensive Rookie of the Year, so
Kind of made my list. I have something slightly different, but that one not specifically on.
I can't wait to hear your
Well,
list.
what's
This is good.
yours?
Number
Oh, okay.
number 2, going from the 30th ranked defense to the first ranked defense in one offseason.
Yes, that was my number 2 as well.
Okay, so that's a good one. Number 1. This is the amazing one. Only 4 teams in the NFL have had a worse first quarter point differential than the minus 42 Eagles. No team that has won a Super Bowl. None until the Eagles.
Yeah.
Were a top 10 team in the worst first quarter point differential. Then the Eagles were the second best team in second quarter point differential, only to the Lions. And then they led the league in fourth quarter point differential. And so they were at the bottom of the league in first quarter, like the dredges. And then they were second best in the second quarter and best in the NFL in the fourth quarter. I think that is the illogical thing. That, as to me, they started out poorly until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No,
They even
seriously.
started the game right after Thanksgiving. They even trailed Baltimore in that one.
Carolina,
and fell behind
Carolina,
Baltimore.
they didn't do anything the first quarter.
What they did to fall behind so poorly and to end up having the season they did, to me, is amazing.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
What's another
is.
one on your list?
All right, so I didn't necessarily go in order, but Zach Baldwin was literally the first one I wrote down. But there's 2 things that you didn't have that were on mine.
Okay.
One of them being your biggest free agent signing was a non-factor.
See,
that was my 5.
See, that's a great one.
Literally,
You
Bryce
didn't need-
Bryce Huff was nothing for this team.
Nothing.
Did not dress on the Super Bowl. Not because he was hurt, because he was bad.
How about your third biggest? They parted ways with him after week 4.
Devin White. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's actually amazing.
That's after Saquon.
And obviously financially, we're saying. 'cause
Saquon, too, and then
Saquon's the
FX.
biggest name, but
So it's
financially, Bryce Huff was your biggest free agent signing, and he was a non-factor all season. Even
Perfect.
before he got hurt, he was a non-factor.
That's a great one, and it sort of was off my radar because it's sort of a negative into a positive.
Yeah. And then hand up. Like, I did not think they'd be able to overcome all the bull spit that they themselves were starting and dealing with that quick. Like the bye week. How many times have you heard me say the week 5 bye was the greatest bye in the history of the NFL? Because they put stuff to bed, they changed the offense, they got healthy. So much happened in that week 5 bye, but I did not think that all of a sudden Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni were going to, I'm not even saying be best friends, just shake hands like men. They did.
Because it really did look like it was going to be a serious problem.
And then the next week, the Browns game, Sirianni loses his damn mind. I didn't think they were going to overcome all. I thought they would still be a playoff team. I didn't think they'd win 14 freaking games and win the Super Bowl when they had all the nonsense that they were creating. Brandon Graham stuff aside, that happened later on in the season. I'm talking about
later,
the 2-2 start, the stories that came out from the previous season, obviously the collapse, the offseason where things didn't seem to get much better relationship-wise, talent-wise they had it. But everything else that went into this football team looked like it was heading in a horrible direction. And they overcame it. And I thought that was an unlikely thing to overcome to this extent where they hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. So those would
those are good.
Three of your
mean,
five I agreed with.
Fairly similar.
Or I also had. Connor, what
did you
about
have another one? Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the Bryce Huff thing, obviously, that Andrew also had, but wasn't on John's list. My number 4 is Nick Serianni saves himself. I did not think that there was any way going into this season that he was going to be able to do enough to have a concrete impact on how the city views him. Because I thought if they win, it's going to be Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio's show, and Nick Sirianni doesn't call the plays. Who knows what he does? He's just this kind of rah-rah guy on the sidelines. It's incredible what that guy did. And it took, honestly, winning it all to do it, which is a very high bar, but welcome to Philadelphia.
That's a great one, Connor.
But, yeah, you could not have convinced me this guy was going to be in this standing with the fan base after this season, maybe even with the Super Bowl, with where he's gotten
not
to.
even have to, again, it wasn't just last year going into this season. It was also the first 6 weeks.
Right.
Think about the story of this Eagles team is going to be amazing. I don't know how much into detail they get when they have, the video yearbook or whatever comes out. I know
the Eagles, when they put out theirs, they're never going to get into
the nitty-gritty,
the internal squabbles that they were having. Because, remember, they tried to deny it.
Right.
Till it couldn't be denied anymore.
Yeah, even
that Jalen and the head coach were having problems.
And then Brandon Graham going to his house, remember the Jay Glazer report.
And they denied that, and Booze,
Yeah, so we'll see what actually comes out. But we went, over a span of 4 months, we went from, I can't imagine this team winning with Nick Sirianni to, I can't imagine life without him as the head coach of the Eagles.
Right.
Which is crazy.
And I can't imagine right now. No. I mean, and he's 43.
Yeah, 43.
That's right. He's going to be here for a long
43.
time.
I mean, he could, honestly, Andy Reid is 67.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Bill Belichick would have, if the Falcons hired him, he would have been their head coach at 71.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend is half Nick Sirianni's age.
That's true.
I mean, almost.
I guess that is fair.
Almost half.
The one other one that I had on here is Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox not being missed when they retired.
That's an amazing one. That is one, Connor, that was in the consideration for me because we spent so much time talking about how are they going to replace Jason Kelce?
Hall of Fame leaders, Hall of Fame in the trenches where the Eagles build their teams. You're replacing them with the guy that dropped in the draft because of off-the-field stuff. But also there were questions in his rookie year about the shape he was in. Not to the level of Jordan Davis, but can Jalen Carter become an all-time great? And Cam Jurgens has not played this position at the NFL level. We went so much on Jason Kelce's word on Cam Jurgens. If Jason Kelce doesn't scout Cam Jurgens and we just look at that guy in a vacuum, there's no way you can hand over the keys to the center of this offensive line to that player. He became just like an all-world level center this year to replace Jason Kelce. It's crazy that you didn't miss those two guys.
That's truly incredible.
So I still remember, and going back to the Jalen Carter thing, it was December 19th, which is a big day.
Your birthday.
And your
daughter's
birthday.
Yes, look at you.
I remember driving home from the show, listening to Mike and Bill was talking about the amount of snaps that Jalen Carter had already played. He had already surpassed his rookie total on December 19th. And remember, this dude was playing 100% of the snaps. He never slowed up. This dude's going to be a freaking beast, man. They never pulled him out of the game.
He's a baby rhino. How do you plan on slowing him down?
It's unbelievable. All right, so that's an interesting one. If there's any that we missed, text them in real quick because we got another segment left to play. Like we mentioned, Mike Missanelli show coming your way at 10 o'clock with Bill Colarulo and Ray Dunn. But if there were any storylines, unlikely storylines that you didn't expect for them to play out the way that they did, send them in at 610-632-0975, and we'll get to them in the final segment. We got the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 coming up as well. We have a couple more clips as well from the final meeting before Super Bowl 59, the team meeting that took place
great video.
in New Orleans. Oh, it's amazing.
Have you watched the whole mic'd up?
No, not the special yet. I got to check that out. Right after Cobra Kai. It's Kincade and Salciunas on a championship Monday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli, Bill Colarulo, and Ray Dunn. They have a lot to say about Philadelphia sports. The big stories you want to hear about. The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-498-6548. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-498-6548. That's 800-498-6548. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
At NJM Insurance, we're like a symphony. It all starts by doing the right thing. Added dedicated reps. And put policyholders first. But no jingles or mascots because it's just not us. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
The real and inside story on Philly sports is here. And it's powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Kincade Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, the Mike Missanelli Show with Bill Colarulo and Ray Dunn, fresh off his tour of duty in New Orleans. They're coming your way at 10 o'clock. Good job, Ray.
Duty. Listen, man, what a great time down there.
I know Ray had a good time. All right, so let's check our text line here. And then I do want to play a couple more of these clips from the night before Super Bowl 59 when the team spoke together. We've played you so far Brandon Graham, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Jacoby Dean, and Zach Vaughn. We still have A.J. Brown to play for you. We have Darius Slay to play for you, a guy that could have just played his last game as an Eagle.
Sure.
And saving the best for last, Saquon Barkley. What do we have on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have a check-in here. Let me just get the name on this one, but they're talking about the storylines. Nick in Port Richmond says it's kind of a sad story for the individual player, but Hassan Reddick forcing his way out just to see the team that he left win the Super Bowl and us not miss him at all. Who could have thought that that would have as little impact?
You know what? That's a great one.
That is a great one.
I thought the pass rush was going to completely hold them back, and for a couple of weeks it looked like that would be the case. And then Vic Fangio, again, this goes back to Vic changing the defense from one of the worst to one of the best to the best. But it was amazing to see them. It's not like they got after the quarterback all the time. time.
Well, you know what it
They
was.
didn't
No, but
know.
they weren't blitzing.
Right?
I mean, the big
But they
thing
got
is,
to Mahomes. Like, they literally got to Mahomes just with a 4-man front.
But under Jonathan Gannon, they blitzed all the time.
Yeah.
They didn't blitz once. 62 dropbacks in a Super Bowl.
Right, but what changed when the pass rush really got going? It wasn't just the bye week, but it was
Secondary got better.
that number 33
Cooper
guy out
DeJean.
there.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty
Not a
darn
safety.
good.
He's not a safety.
No, he's not. Do you want to confirm that?
And he doesn't want to be stalked.
Is not a safety.
And no stalking, people. Thank you.
Yeah.
Leave these players alone at their residences, please. It's really scary stuff.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That's really weird.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right,
All right?
lady.
Cooper DeJean doesn't want it, and neither does your
Don't
father.
do that. Well, Cooper DeJean might. We don't know.
No, he was as uncomfortable as hell as you could see.
I'm
I
Cooper
just took a
DeJean
picture
doesn't
with
need
him.
By the way,
it.
speaking of Cooper DeJean, did you see?
And hanging, you mean the girl stalking where he was living and hanging out with a big sign?
Did you see one of the other videos of Cooper DeJean this weekend?
No.
So he was at a club somewhere in the city. Did you see it, Connor?
I did not.
Oh God. So DeJean and Blankenship were
Well,
at
that's a duo.
the Exciting Whites.
Yes.
They were at a club somewhere. I don't know where it was. It looked familiar, but I don't know exactly where it was. And this girl, speaking of women that were interested, I guess, she asked Cooper DeJean to throw a cake at her face. So
maybe that's not what she meant?
No. It's what she meant. She handed him a cake. So I don't know if you know Steve Aoki, the DJ.
Uh-huh.
At every concert.
Yes.
He picks somebody, and he throws it perfectly.
And they get somebody right there.
Bang, right in the face. So the woman.
So does Gritty, by the way, at the Flyers
That's
games.
right. So the woman wanted Cooper DeJean to do it. He threw it, hit her, not with the cake though, but with like the metal plate that the cake was on, and just drilled her right in the face.
Oh, Cooper.
Well, it's a hard throw.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
not
blaming
fair.
him. I'm blaming her. He's at a nightclub and she's asking him to throw cake at her face.
My brother did that one time at like a school charity thing where the principal allowed us to throw like pies at the face if they donate enough money, and
Right.
the tin flipped and just caught him square in the face with
Yeah,
the tin.
Well,
so
the
it
tins
can
can
happen to
sorta,
anybody.
The tins can be sort of real flimsy.
Yeah, well,
right?
the same with the sheet
But they
cake
probably
thing.
still-
She got drilled.
Listen, if you want someone to throw something at you, you might get hit by something.
All right, what else do we have on the text line?
All right. We have other people checking in on the dynasty conversation and everything we were getting into before. So what we have here from Joe the Cynic, we're merging two seasons. Eagles have a better shot at a dynasty than the Phillies bats performing in the postseason.
Well, that's
We're doing this already, aren't we?
Well, it's the truth.
Dude, the Phillies are in a lot of trouble.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. No, I'm not saying in terms of there's going to be a lot of pressure on them this year.
Oh, we're talking about this tomorrow? Because it's going to be big.
Sure.
It's going to be big. It's going to be huge, and none of the excuse makers take it elsewhere.
Look at what's happened to the Sixers. They're apathy.
Yeah,
Like, there's
no.
people that just straight up don't care anymore. The Phillies will have a lot of pressure on their hands.
Pressure
this
and trouble are not the same thing.
Oh, you could get into trouble quickly.
You could,
with
but
the
they're not
pressure.
in trouble now.
'Cause I'm
They're
just-
under pressure.
I'm not expecting franchise records being broken in April. You know, it was really great last year.
There were a lot of things that they wasted last year
Absolutely.
that
All right.
you could definitely use.
Let's play a couple more clips for you. Let's go A.J. Brown. Here was A.J. the night before the Super Bowl final team meeting. The Eagles posted a video on their social media accounts over the weekend. The team addressing one another before Super Bowl 59. Here was A.J. Brown.
I feel like everybody's said a whole bunch over there, and I'm not in that moment yet to kind of like speak about the game or to like get ready for the game because we got a lot of time. But I want to give flowers to my guys. Appreciate you for one. The team has voted me as captain. You know, for my guys. You know, watching my guys fill in: Han, Paris, Johnny, Kyle, Anaz, Covey. You know, Smitty. You know. Y'all just as important, but y'all don't get the praise. And I want to give y'all guys flowers because these guys be, you know, doing what they're supposed to do in practice. And I go out there and do the same move and I get the credit for it, you know. And I want to, you know, shed light on them guys because them guys mean a lot to me. But I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate this team for me as a captain, as a leader. Let's go out here and have fun tomorrow.
I mean, that clip shows his leadership and being a captain. He's mentioning Paris Campbell.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Practice squad. I know he dressed a few times this year, and he's a veteran
But
in the NFL.
they make everybody better
Yeah.
by the work that they put in to go and grind and be part of the be part of the scout teams,
Yeah.
and everything like that.
And that's a great moment. Again, it's the night before the Super Bowl, and he's talking about practice squad. Like that's amazing. Here was Darius Slay, big play Slay, on the eve of what could be his final game as a Philadelphia Eagle. Here's Darius Slay.
Yeah, man, let's go out here and handle business. And, you know what I'm saying? Why not us? You know what I'm saying? It's always been this and that and the third. Why not us? Why not us, Lamar, to go out here, execute, play fast, play physical, play for each other, and, and hold this trophy up.
I feel like I'm on
Short and
the
sweet.
Haunted Mansion ride at Disney with that music, though.
It's nice. I told you, nice organ.
It's like funeral music.
Yeah, well.
Like it wasn't
You know
a-
whose funeral it was? It was the Chiefs' funeral.
Yes, it was.
Ah!
It was Patrick Mahomes' funeral.
By the way, did you see the funeral home?
Oh, that did down in South
R.I.P.
Philly?
Chiefs.
I love that.
That's amazing.
My wife was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" I said, "Honey, I don't think they were having any
Yeah, I don't
funerals
think
that
there was.
day."
I don't think there was anything going
There was
on
no
that day.
funeral that day, and she goes, "These people are nuts."
I
like,
would.
yes.
I imagine they took that down right after the parade, so
Yes.
that the next day when they probably had somebody in the building, unfortunately.
When Mrs. DiGiacomo was being wheeled in, for her funeral, they didn't have that. I thought it was hilarious.
It was a good move by him.
It was a great move.
All right, lastly, Saquon Barkley, the leader that we know that he is, obviously the talent that we know that he is. Here was Saquon Barkley on the eve of Super Bowl 59.
I want to start by saying thank you to everyone in this room. And I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me in and showing so much love and so much support. I think you hear the common theme up here, right? And I think every single one of us bring up team. And as I watch film throughout the whole week, my confidence is even grow even more, and I hope you guys are feeling the same thing. These guys can't f with us. They really can't. I don't care how many times they've been here. I don't care how many times they won it. They haven't seen a team like this.
Love that.
I love that. Yes.
Beautiful, man. Super Bowl champs.
It is. That's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Super Bowl. We're not playing all this stuff if they lost.
No.
Right? Like, if
no,
they-
we'd really be playing funeral music if they lost. It's unreal, though. If I had seen that the night before the Super Bowl, I would have felt even more confident than I was on Super Bowl Sunday, because I think the message from Lane Johnson
The Lane
down,
one in the beginning was
hey, we were a
great.
little too emotional last time. We got a lot of time to pass until game time here. Let's just focus on us and what's important and being ready to go out there. And the physicality message.
Yeah, he sure said, let's go out there and F him up. I know you're going to go out there and F him up.
All day
That was
long.
a great line by Lane. All right, it is time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3. Today's best.
Last week, all I wanted to say was the C word.
What? You're not allowed to say that.
Could.
Oh.
Could. That C word.
Okay.
Come on, it's
Terrible.
6:02 already
Terrible.
with you.
Say that.
Could. You guys both tried to go, no, stop, don't say it yet.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles, John and Connor, could become a dynasty.
Oh, jeez.
I'm disappointed in both of you.
I'm disappointed in you even bringing it up again.
No, for
They
months.
haven't won
For
two.
months, John, it was chest day on this show. You and I spotted each other at the gym every single day doing chest day. We both had at least 10 pounds on both sides of the bar.
We did. It's
and
a
now
45.
all of a sudden I say could, and you're trying to shoot me down.
No, you're jumping a topic that we should be doing a year from now. Not now.
What do you mean
a year from now.
What if they win a year from now?
If they win a year from now, then it makes the topic legitimate.
No, if they win a year from now, then they are. I'm saying could.
They aren't.
Win back-to-back Super Bowls, you are.
No, you're not a dynasty if you win two.
Oh, Johnny.
Hey, you two are out of your mind.
They were in one 2 years ago, and if they win back-to-back, you would not consider them a dynasty?
Back-to-back is not a dynasty.
If you go to 3 Super Bowls in 4 years and win 2 of them, I don't know how you could not call that a dynasty.
That is
This
not
might be
a-
the craziest thing you've ever said.
You have to
a
have-
dynasty.
You're not having 2 championships is not making you a dynasty. 3 championships would. You tell me you win 3, you could talk about it. Not showing up and losing.
Wait, so you're saying we can't even have this conversation until maybe next year?
No, there's other conversations to have. I think this is absurd.
No, I'm
That's not
disappointed in you.
Like we're worried about something that'll be relevant a year from now or now. What's now?
Well, no,
They're
see
the
now,
defending
but your
champs.
standard's different. If they win this year, Super Bowl 60, they are a dynasty, period.
No, you're not a dynasty unless if you win 2 in a row, that doesn't make you a dynasty.
2 in a row after being a 1 2 years ago, you are absolutely a dynasty.
Losing doesn't count towards dynasties.
It depends on how you consider
don't
dynasty.
give me that. Well, then you know what you're doing? You're watering it down so you can somehow weasel the Eagles being a dynasty. They're not a dynasty. It's anticipation. It's not only knowing what call to make at the time. It's anticipating 2 calls out.
Right.
3 calls out. And that's what a rookie guy is not equipped to do. He's got to learn under fire. If he's never called them before, even if he's done them in college, he hasn't done them at the pro level. Kevin Petula cannot be the answer. Cannot be the answer they come up with.
Should not be the answer.
It's 0 for 2, and it's bad. And by the way, Kevin Petula would be honestly the worst qualified of the guys that would ascend to the offensive coordinator job that has followed the 17 Super Bowl, the 22 Super Bowl, then this one. He would be the least qualified of the guys.
We had the opportunity to watch the parade go by, which was really cool. And I love how everybody was having a great time. Obviously, there's a couple of nitwits here and there that try to ruin the event. But our area of Broad and Locust, I didn't see any debacles going down. The section of people that we were around, everyone was good. Everyone was happy. Everyone was having a good time, as it should have been on parade day. But I had a blast with you guys hanging out, watching the floats go by. Friday was an amazing day.
It was everything. So many times when you look forward to something for your entire life, and doing this as long as I have, and I've had so many teams knocking on the door to be able to cover something like that. They don't live up to the hype. Friday lived up to the hype. Every last ounce of it.
Well, it helps when you're around a group of people. I mean, how many people do you think was at our corner?
Oh, probably
500 to 1,000 people. Just our corner. Just
more than that. Oh no, there were a couple thousand.
So,
like the block right in front of our hotel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
had
about.
At least a couple thousand people there.
And when everybody's feeling the same vibe you're feeling, that makes the day even more special.
The energy was great. The smiles were great. The players' smiles were amazing. The whole energy of the day was just beautiful.
And it started when we were driving up to the hotel. Like I saw people walking around. It was 5 o'clock in the morning.
The happiness of that day will live with me for quite a while.
All right, that's the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show. I have a question for you guys off the sports talk for a second.
What's that?
And this might be a post-show headlines conversation.
Good. I have 2 for that.
So yesterday, after the Temple game, my wife and I went to see the Temple Owls play basketball. We went to Maxie's afterward, which is the bar on campus. I saw something beautiful that I did not do. And
Was my daughter in there drinking? Oh, okay.
But she could. She's 21.
She could. She had a beer with her father.
I saw the Temple lacrosse team was like a couple of the guys. Were hanging out, at the bar. And they were offering to buy each other rounds. I don't remember when I was like 21 years old doing that.
Were you NIL?
No.
Because I do believe that some of the teams, they literally
have
NIL now.
Like, you know me now. I'm quick to. Like,
you're very quick.
You guys want a beer? I'll buy you a beer.
No.
But like, I had no income, I worked here very early on, so I had no income. Like, I wasn't buying people drinks.
No, you weren't buying.
You tried to buy it.
No, you weren't buying rounds.
You tried to buy it.
You'd buy your buddy a drink. I got this one. You get that one.
Andrew Stingy Chunas was not
Well,
going
you had
to
no
put
money.
I had no money. Like
no
the one
money
dude
to do that.
bought like 5 pitchers for the table.
No.
No, for me, that was not a college thing.
That's what I'm saying. But it was. I thought it was
post-college,
beautiful. I saw it. I saw it yesterday. I was like, and I said to Christy, I was like, you didn't do that either. She goes, no, absolutely not. She just waited for a guy to buy her a drink, which I don't blame her.
First, you got to know also too. You got to know who you're hanging out with. Because there are people who absolutely I'll get the next one.
Yeah, and then they never get the next one.
No, then they're at the bathroom.
Yeah.
Then I got to leave early. And it's always the same people.
Speaking off of experience.
Hey, support life-saving cancer research. Join us and our generous partners, H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. We've all used them here. Make a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. You can do it at 975thefanatic.com/AACR. I'm living proof. Cancer research saves lives.
All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Man, I feel rested. Don't you?
I feel good.
I think we can finally sober up after a long couple of weeks. Mike Missanelli Show comes your way next. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.